So good trading today, Neil. Thank you to everybody out there, and we will see you guys at 2 p.m. Ciao.
Look at this empty time. I guess we got to hop out of this USO trade here, Obi.
Nice. Yo. What's happening?
Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome to the afternoon show. Guys, what's going on? I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning. We're going to have to hop out of this USO short. It doesn't seem like it wants to break down. Pretty choppy, but you already know who it is. It's your boy, Joey O. And next to me is the Jedi Master himself, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in the building, guys. All right, I was long USO looking for this breakdown. We're not getting that just yet, but aside from that, let's see who we got in the chat as the market is screaming higher, and we're not getting that inverse correlation. Market higher, USO not breaking down? Come on, what's going on here? Let's pull up the chat and see what we got going on. Oh, I have the old chat up, Obi.
Okay.
Oh my Lord, may I ramble on for a couple more seconds? Yes, it's been a choppy one to start. We had some good positions out of the gate, but we just didn't have the ability to take advantage of them, and that's totally fine. Guess what? There's plenty of time left, and you know we can take advantage of those things. It only takes one trade. Let's see who we got in the chat here, guys. We're going to kick things off at the top of the list. Minnesota Trader, LFG, he says, Andrew Chow, JConi, Streaming Gamers, yo, what's going on? Joey, we on time? Yes, sir, always on time. Punctuality is everything. MF Dangerous, we got Go, Chico Gaines, Hangry Wife, my guy, what's up, my guy? We also got Gorev, let's go. Billy Hardy, I don't text. Oh, okay, that's all right, that's cool, you don't have to text. Omen, Mike, Pete, DeRider, Ryan O'Day. Who do we got this weekend? Wannabe Trader, Oxlong, Joby, what's up? Stevenson, hey from Luxembourg, Steven Sal. Once again, a couple more here at Bastoni, The Real Dangerous, and who else? One more, P-Mac, that Mac Daddy. What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend. I once said it's me and the Jedi Master here today as NVDA is climbing higher and USO is not tanking. Come on, do a little bit of selling here for your boy. If not, that's all right. We get out of the trade and look for something else. Obi, what's going on? How's the morning been? What do you got? How is your analysis? Talk to us.
I've just been kind of observing this morning, nothing too crazy. What's going on, everybody? It seems like we're doing a bit of a continuation from yesterday's absolutely ridiculously strong bid going into the close. There is one stock that I am watching pretty closely, and you know, kind of my fault for not really getting involved. Well, Micron, guess what? Remember yesterday we were looking at some of this Micron for that push, and then as well as MRVL, that 100 mark came in today, Joe. That came in the pre-market, holds in the pre-market, and we'll take a look at this beautiful opening drive, pull back into VWAP. Guess what? I missed this one, but I did get involved just now for a little bit of the backside as it pulls right back into VWAP there. But yeah, absolutely crazy. If you took that pre-market high breakout, that 103, sure, you pull back down to 102 halves, 102s and some change, but even the 104 half breakout takes you to 107.80, so absolute strength there. But Google, this was the one I was watching into the close. This was a little bit of an interesting consolidation. If you guys were watching some of the Mag 7, I was just like, yeah, there's definitely a buyer holding up Google going into the end of the day. This was sideways. Like, take a look at how this looks like on a 15-minute chart. Leg, consolidation leg, and then a sideways flat hold of about roughly $1, $1.50 on Google. So definitely a held bid roughly in and around that 286 area. And guess what? Coming in today, it is one of the strongest stocks out of the Mag 7, other than Meta, to give us that opening drive. Take a look at that, 291s all the way to 296 and some change as of right now. Still holding up, pulls back to VWAP, and the buyers step right back in, currently trading at 296, 296 and a quarter. So watching this one, Meta's another one right here. You can see that that one was aggressively strong yesterday as well. We got that opening drive, but sideways chop, distinctly different from the action of Google there. I know so some of you guys were talking about Tesla this morning. Tesla still, it kind of got sold off of the open. Dips got bought up, and then now we're kind of coming into these pre-market highs on Tesla. But there was a name which was very, very choppy today. and that is Nike earnings. I was watching this one, I was like, do I hit the 46 off of the open? 46 is being right here, pre-market lows being 46 halves. There was a swipe. If you go into the 1 minute chart, take a look at this nasty swipe. This happened within 1 second, Joe. 46.19s, I was watching this, it slaps up to 46.80s. And then slaps right back down. I'm like, all right, well, if that's not a tell, then I don't know what is, of sellers definitely being in charge, but didn't really get involved. I'll be honest, I was kind of dozing off at the desk this morning. I'm just like, all right, well, you know, still recovering. I took some Neocitrin.
Okay, that's
absolutely
good.
Solid stuff, and I have a cup of it right now here as well to you know, manage some of that headache.
Gotta hit the steam room, man. Get all that stuff out.
I'm trying to manage this headache. I'm trying to manage these positions. We'll see. We'll see how. I don't know where I'd find a steam room. I guess at the gym or like you mean like a steamer.
No,
like
the steam room. Yeah, you can steamer as well too.
I
just
think I have
just sweat it out. You know what I used to do when I was feeling to get sick? I used to throw on the old running suit, put the toque on, and then hit the treadmill for an hour and just leak all of the bad
just sweat it out there. Right?
Just sweat it out, man. Sweat it out.
For sure.
But yeah, good stuff there, Obi guys. Let's get right into what we were trading here this morning. We're still sitting in this USO trade. When I make a transaction either getting out or it starts to work for us, then you'll see my position. My average price right now is around 123.17. Katina has 124. Obi and I were both trading this one yesterday in opposite directions and both had the ability to put on some solid trades. Now, I was thinking that we'd get a little bit more of a breakdown. I'm going to get a little bit more into my thinking of what's maybe going on with USO. Obviously, one of the more popular vehicles right now for trading oil. The overall market relatively strong, looking like it might start to head a little bit lower here now, but we don't want to jump any form of guns. All right, moving forward, guys, let's take a look at what we had going on. This isn't the first ticker that I was trading, but the second. Now, as per re-engagement, we had those couple of opportunities to do so. We did it once. We didn't do it the second time, or the third time, sorry. So sometimes you need to continuously hammer those trades, especially when they're displaying themselves. All right, moving forward. For that first little bit, we were chopping around quite a bit. And I was patient, because the way that we were consolidating, I'm like, at some point, we're going to get a little bit of a pop, and I want to be able to take advantage of it. So my first attempt right here, as you can see on the 1 minute, I'm anticipating the breakout. We typically say you want to participate but not anticipate. But sometimes when you're reading price action and you're looking for that volume to step in, you can see it within the time and sales and the volume slowly starting to uptick. We've gone over multiple occasions where I'm like, hey, something funky is going on. We take the trade, and then sure enough, the larger participants or whoever it may be start to enter the trade, and then it skyrockets in our direction. All right, let's get out of this USO trade, as it's just too choppy right now for my liking. Maybe we get that breakdown head and shoulders, but continuing. Attempt 1 didn't work. Attempt 2, boom, right at the right time. We get that breakout, but then I do get stopped out a little bit here and then never re-engaged. All right? Now, as for another name that I was looking at here this morning, trading the NASDAQ. We had a pretty good trade on it, but look at this trend that I missed out on, okay? So attempt 1 on the short, came in the money, didn't work for us. Got out, took that loss. I tried it again on the short, take that stop out a little bit early. Totally fine. Same thing with NVDL. Previously, I'm like, okay, I think we're gonna break at some point. So on this position, I actually had 20% more than what I had on the previous two combined. All right, because I'm like, hey, I have a little bit more conviction. I have a feeling that we're going to break. The other names were climbing higher, i.e. Google. Meta was starting to rebound as well, too. And I'm like, all right, let's hammer this to see if we're going to get a break through that pre-market zone. Now, was I right in general? Yes, but that doesn't matter. Did I take full advantage of this trade? Absolutely not. Okay, so we took it. We got that small pop, and then eventually it came back down to our break even. And I'm like, all right, let's get out of Dodge and then look for another re-engagement time or a place within the price action. And this was over here. So this choppy price action to the top side, I'm like, you know what? If a larger participant comes in and starts dumping some shares, or the overall, the bigger names start selling, I'm like, this little grind higher, and you can tell within the strength of the price action candles, it will get engulfed. And sure enough, an hour of grinding higher, Adios amigos in the span of 4 minutes, okay? And then sure enough, it put in 3 indecision prints on the 1 minute time frame, and that was my green light to go, and I didn't pull the trigger. Now that's my fault. As you can see, hindsight being 2020, we continuously grind higher here. All right, so I'm still short USO, looking for the breakdown as the market's continuing to climb higher. Doesn't seem to be the narrative right now. Let's go over what we have on our watch list today. Tesla, looking pretty good. Indecision prints at the highs. Maybe you get a breakdown, okay? But look at this head and shoulders pattern on USO coming from the pre-market, okay? So you have this base right here, you climb higher, you come back in, and then now you're just consolidating within this time zone, or within this zone right here, this 123 to 124 mark. Choppy stuff. Now as for Tesla, inverted hammers at the highs. If we're gonna continuously have this grinding bid, how deep are these pullbacks? And we have to be prepared that the pullbacks are going to be relatively shallow and then somewhat of a continuation in today's intraday session. IBIT also on the corner of my eye, and NVDA, and you know we're always looking at the SPY and the TQQQs, OB. Yes,
sir. So we're still kind of creeping a little bit higher here. Still in this short on MRVL. I don't know, the position board is, it still says Sharif there. I guess I'll get in and out of something something there. But yeah, you can see right here on my chart where I got short, just a little consolidation. I'm looking for this to come into VWAP right here, which is, it's exactly right there. It's exactly at VWAP right now. Pulling right back into 104.97s there. So roughly about 50 pennies. I'm in at 105.44s. I'm watching USO as well, but let me know. I know CYCN was going crazy. A lot of you guys mentioning that in the chat. So let's take a quick look at that one as well. I was just doing my relative volume scan, and interestingly enough, nothing's being picked up on my relative volume scanner right now. It does have a filter for anything that's a market cap of 100 million and above. So I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Are you guys seeing anything that's 100 million and above that has some relative volume today? And the relative volume cutoff, I think, is around 3. Hey Fabian, what's up? Nice. Yeah, look at that. Look, there we go. That's okay, the what are we calling that? The
visualizer.
The visualizer, yes. Visualizer. What is that at the top? CYCN. There we go. CYCN. I did have eyes on this. This one was halting around this morning. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty low float here. What is that? Yeah, 2.7. Pretty low float stock. Up on, I think my one of my scanners said it was takeover news. I'm not 100% sure. Merger agreement, yes. Cyclerion Therapeutics and Corsana Biosciences announced merger agreement. That's interesting. Is there a price? Is there anything like that? There's probably all stock transaction combined by yada yada. Okay, cool, that's nice. Let's take a quick look at what the short float on this thing is, CYCN. With the way it's moving around, guys, it's definitely a little crazy. Short float 3.12%. I highly doubt that that's the current live short float right now. Yeah, I think it's something to watch out for here on the day. Don't know how much shares are to borrow on this one, but you can see it's sustaining levels. It's holding up. I'd have to go in and check if they have some sort of a shelf offering as well. But we can do that real quick. Who should I ask? Should I ask Perplexity? Should I ask GPT? Or should I ask Claude?
What are you asking it?
It's to see if they have any sitting shelf offerings that are in the pipeline. Any sort of offerings that are in the pipeline. You know, I'll just.
I don't even know what that is, though. I don't know what Wendy's. I don't know what that is. Who said that from before?
What's that?
So what's a Halo something shirt?
Halo shirt?
Yeah. Someone said my shirt a Halo shirt or something like that. Like the game Halo. What's up, Katina, man? What's up with this USO short, my boy?
Yeah, I know this. The USO is creeping up higher as well. I guess that inverse relationship, not really in play today.
It's not in play. And the way that I'm looking at this trade right now, Obi, I'm gonna put it to a comparison to silver. Remember how hot silver was for that span of a couple of months? There was nothing, in my opinion, if you were just looking to punch long or buy any form of dip, silver was your go-to. Silver was that guy for a couple of months, right? And then it wasn't. It's just like the internet. Like, I don't know, for the kids who are on social media, at one point it's like you have your new favorite kick streamer, and then like a couple weeks later, it's that clavicular guy. What's up, lads?
Yeah, I've
looking
seen
handsome.
I've seen that.
You seen that guy?
Yeah.
At one point, it's like
character,
it's Duke Dennis or whatever his name. It's Kai Cenat. Then it's Aiden Ross, and then it's just like a complete rotation of who these individuals are. All right, let's get out of this USO trade. It wasn't gonna break down. I gotta remove this thing. So essentially, what I'm getting at here, yeah, oh yeah, he is Strobe 100%. I think all that is. Listen, I don't understand, and this is me venting. Why are these kids watching these individuals live their lifestyle and not necessarily get anything from it? That's when you tune over into Trader TV Live and actually build yourself a life skill. All right. Are we getting analysis on LookMat? I don't even say, all these new terms are absolutely insane. All right, guys, as for USO, we're out of this one. Didn't work, okay? This didn't work. So we're out. We take the hit on that. I'm glad that we went relatively small. We didn't get the breakdown that we were looking for in USO as it's climbing higher. Head and shoulder pattern didn't formulate how we wanted to. Options maxing. Exactly. Why don't we make that a new thing? Like, if we're ever talking about something being gamified and the younger generation stepping into something, these people literally sit in front of a computer and talk to this guest about something essentially about nothing. Like, let's talk about the financial markets, let's get some trading going, and let's have some fun while we're doing it. Think about how much, like, we were cool. Obi and I were just calm and cool, and then all of a sudden volatility steps in yesterday on USO, and it's like boom, 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 boom. I do, absolutely. Strader, why would I lie about that? Congratulations to them, and kudos to you for having the ability to do that, but what are you gaining at the end of the day in that stuff? I don't really see it. Maybe it's because I'm a big bro. I'm not classified as an uncle yet because I'm still in the age range of a big bro. All right, so I'm a big bro, and I'm just like, yo, it doesn't make sense to me. So come over here, learn something, and sure enough, you can just build a skill. Hey, Jeremy, don't disrespect. Just build a skill, essentially, right? Once you lose your hair, you're an unk, says Stockhead. That's crazy, my boy. It's age, man. I'm pretty sure mine.
I'm starting to get there as well a little bit.
Stop saying that. This guy has a full head of hair.
No, I definitely do not.
Stockhead, I know you're joking around.
It's thinning out pretty.
It's thinning out, man. But live stream is a big chat room, more fun than watching normal TV.
Yeah, I mean, people have more.
They do. Like sometimes they're doing
to interact.
Listen, I'll give credit to Speed. Speed, I like it. He's funny, and I think he's a genuine individual. As for the rest, meh. Anyways, guys.
Everybody has preferences.
Exactly, and to each their own, but why not learn a new skill? That's just my mentality, all right? As for USO, guys, we'll pull this up and see what we got going on. Get stopped out, gonna come back in. I could get a much better entry price just in case it does want to break down, but I don't know how many attempts I'm gonna give this, to be honest with you. We take a hefty hit on not that many shares there, and I wasn't really looking forward to that. So yeah, USO, been a choppy mess here today, Obi.
Yeah, it says, let's see, I got some news here. Elon Musk's SpaceX has filed confidentiality for their IPO. That's interesting. SATS, it seems, SATS. Let's see what these guys are up to. Okay, never mind. Not really doing anything there, but yeah, no, I did ask Claude for any sort of information on this CYCN. So they do have an active $25 million mixed securities shelf, which means they can offer any combination of stock, preferred stock, warrants, and units up to aggregate amount on a delayed or continuous basis. So basically, they can offer intraday, and this thing can easily slap down. Now, I don't know if they're going to offer on a day where they announce that they're doing a merger with Corsana Biosciences, and I did ask for information on what that actually is. It's an all-stock merger agreement today. They will operate as Corsana Biosciences and trade on the NASDAQ under the new ticker symbol KRSA. So CYCN apparently will no longer exist, and they're going to trade under KRSA. Let's see what else. Any other important information here? I did ask for what's a potential fair value relative to this deal here. Does this stock already trade? That's the other question. The what was it? KRSA, let's see. KRSA is not a stock. So yeah, something to just keep in mind on this one. Absolutely solid, kind of an opening drive there as it pushed up even higher past that $5 level, all the way to 848s. And again, I got to check how much shorts on this are, but I would definitely be wary trading this one. But you know, it's a $6, $7 stock. Nothing too crazy. It does have a lot of liquidity there as well. 190.5 million shares traded so far on the day, and I guess it gives you a pretty tight area to risk as well. You know, you can risk 15, 20 pennies, maybe even less, being a sub $10 stock here. You can do X with the super chat. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Intel going higher or lower from here? Seems like support at 48 halves. Yeah, I was watching Intel this morning. I had a support line down here at 45s, to be honest. And take a look at that wick action that it did in the pre-market session. I don't know if there was any sort of news on this one, but it seems like relative volume did start to pick up at 9 a.m. here, and we got a nice little opening drive. Relative volume 3 times coming in off of the open, dwindled down to about 2.2 until now. But you can see higher highs, higher lows, extended above VWAP, and in a decent trend here. And you're saying what, 48 half support? Let's take a look at the higher time frame and see. Let's see if I can find what you're talking about at the same time. So yeah, okay, this right here, you're talking about this. That's coming in at 47.85, and if you're talking about this, I don't know. This to me, here's the thing you can do. It's coming into an area as of recent where it's shown supply. Like we had multi-day runs into this area, 48.85, and then pull right back into 45. The next day we pull right back in, and then supply steps right back in. Not only that, look at this, end of the day, strong aggressive sellers pushing into this area. Once again, in and around this area, 47.70s, sellers step in and we get a multi-day sell-off there on Intel. So I do think that I wouldn't necessarily call this support. I would call this a resistance unless and until they can break above it, pull back, and hold it. The chart has to show you that, okay, we cannot get below this level. As of right now, over the past couple of weeks, or this month, or the month of March, it's shown us only one thing. It cannot get above that level. So that is resistance for my definition of what that action means. But yeah, no, there's a lot of headwind as well. Here you got some resistance here, maybe potentially at 51.30s, 55.40s as well. But if you're doing all of this action on relative volume intraday, maybe today's the day. You know, there are different nuances to the bid that's happening today relative to some of the bid that took us into this area in the past couple of weeks. You know, it took multiple days of bid and then sellers step in. You know, maybe one day of closer, we were closer to that area, bid into there, and then sellers step in. But today might be different. So hopefully that works out for you. Market tailwind definitely on your side there as we continue to trek a little bit higher here. Slow and steady, these 15-minute candles back-to-back green candles here, continuously making higher highs and higher lows at the same time.
Yeah, USO going, man.
Did you flip or?
No, I didn't flip, man. I'm not going to be messing around with this kind of chop suey, essentially. I'm short some Tesla right now. We're going to throw USO to the back burner. I mean, yesterday was a one-off. When I see price action like that from a daily and, from a 5-minute standpoint, like up, down, this chop sesh, I'm just going to avoid it, to be honest with you, unless some volatility spike steps in. We can tell that by the volume, by time profile, without any question. But no flip. Now it's climbing up 124.56. I'm all out of that one. So we'll see. After this Tesla trade, if this doesn't work out, then we're going to sit on our hands for a little bit, guys, just because. We took a couple attempts. We didn't get to take advantage of the NASDAQ trade like we should have. And then the same thing with NVDA. So if we're fortunate enough to get this 77 break, I want to look for that next level. That could be that 65. That could be a potential profit target right there. So that's what I have my eyes on right now, guys. Lilly going, says my boy Commodity King, LLY. See how that, yeah, it's a big time breakout in Eli Lilly, $946. Break of that 938 level in LLY. Nice call out there. BTC moving higher as well too, past that pre-market high, guys. What's up, Noah? You just tagged my name. You can say something behind that. I'll keep my eye out for you. Maybe, yeah, I went full size here. Gore, if I given it 10 cents, right, to 78s, that's gonna give me plenty of time. If it breaks through that high, I can even get out a couple of cents earlier, to be honest with you, and take somewhat of a smaller loss. So that's essentially what my risk profile is. Give it a little bit of breathing room as well, too, to see if we can get a pullback. We're starting to form a shelf, which I like. So now it's my job to see if we can take advantage of this shelf being breached, and we head a little bit lower. I don't think it's, I shouldn't say that. I'm just going to allow price action to speak for itself. But if it gets bought back up relatively quickly, I'll be looking to take some out here on this TSLL trade. If it decides to climb higher, then so be it. We sit on our hands for a little bit longer, like I just mentioned. So Noah's still tagging my name. And it doesn't want to breach that support level just yet. INTC is still climbing higher. The NASDAQ. So this is what I was looking at here earlier today, guys. Look at the weakness within this price action. When you see this grinding bid, essentially, and it's like a lot of wiki up, down, and then you have a participant step in, and it just pushes it right back down towards the volume-weighted average price. I'm like, all right. And then it showed on the 1 minute time frame a re-engagement signal, a couple of them, 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, oh no, I missed it. And then you have that volume spike step in, and then sure enough, you haven't broke down since. So that was a missed opportunity, and we're gonna try to avoid those. So what I see here on Tesla is saying, hey Joe, take the trade. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then guess what? We're gonna sit on our hands for a little bit and wait for that next high quality opportunity. But there you go, it's breaking 77, but we don't wanna get too ahead of ourselves and celebrate too soon, because typically when you do, things can rebound relatively quick, and the next thing you know, you look like, I was gonna say a donkey, essentially.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those quick flips, man. 125s, I guess, coming in on USO. I guess I do have it up on my chart. I think something like a good place. I know you got stopped out of this one here in the chop, but that 124, you can see. Look at those highs there, kind of flat top highs. That breakout is working out quite nicely here as well. But I'm just sitting on my hands, waiting, watching, still in this MRVL, maybe looking to get more if it shows me anything else. Market with a little bit of a pullback as of right now, so wait and see if that will come in. I am looking for, reversions potentially to come into the market here. Things are very strong, and in terms of strength, I'm watching Amazon, I'm watching Google, I'm watching maybe a little bit of Tesla as well. Softy pulling a little bit lower here at the same time. Apple has not been able to get past its VWAP all day long, so maybe that one's potentially coming in here as well. You can see the market, absolute strength here coming into the open. Bit of a pullback, but Apple doesn't do much at all relative to its VWAP, just kind of sideways consolidation. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. AAPL. This is what I mean. So absolutely nothing too crazy. Sideways consolidation, chop within its opening range. So maybe something there. We'll have to wait and see if that'll come in. But yeah, I'd like to watch, a decent chunk of the Mag 7, being like, okay, well, I do want to watch them as like an indicator, right? Sure, you can watch the futures. The futures are great as well. I use them as an indicator all the time. Sometimes I feel like I should be trading them instead. But the constituents of said futures should definitely be looked at, in my opinion, as well. It's just sometimes it's all about relative strength and relative weakness, right? Which one's relatively strong? Which one's relatively weak? Google relatively strong. Apple relatively weak. is a good example. So if Apple starts to break down and Google starts to curl over, then that adds confluence for a potential pullback as well for me at the very least. I see that you're in that Tesla short.
Yeah, I'm in this Tesla short. It's slowly starting to break down here, Obi. Neil and I talking a little bit about USO, but we're getting that move right now. Considering, like, I need to hold this for a longer move, so we're going to try to diamond hands this here. But shout out to our boy Bravely, our TikTok moderator, sending me some names. Demay, we're going to give some shout outs to TikTok there. Demay, Guyan, Escoda, Funny Cats, Andor, G-Sun, Wolf of SMP, okay, K-Dub, IK, and Jason, all over on TikTok stream. So Bravely, thank you very much for sending me those things. Kalua, what are you doing here? I'm short NQ futures up there in Diamond, Hansing to low of the day, and a runner past. All right, man, let's see if we can get this breakdown. The market is relatively choppy. The curl over is starting to come into play. So let's see if we can continuously hold that there. See Fabian working on some stuff back there as well too. So our boy Sharif texting me last night, having a grand old time in the Dominican Republic, as he should be. So shout out to him. Other than that, guys, let's see. INTC did get somewhat of a pullback. If we start forming some indecision prints here on the higher time frame, what I'm referring to here is the 5-minute on Tesla, then I have to be prepared to take this out, especially if it comes back towards my entry price. And then I don't want to just hop in and out of things and take like break-even stops here and there, because I tend to get like a little flustered, and that's not the narrative right now. But let's see if we can get this breakdown. Be prepared for some more choppy and ebb and flow movement. We got the breach of that 76 mark here, 1276, and then we headed into 72s roughly. I would have preferred to wait for 70s or 69s because I'm risking 10 cents. Ideally, I want to hold this for at least a 1.5 or a 2 to 1. So that means I'm going to have to wait for a 20-cent move to the downside, and that's going to put me at 58. Be prepared to get out if I have to. Other than that, we got to hold this almost all the way back down to the volume-weighted average price. And the way the market just gets continuously bought up right here, Obi, I'm not too sure we're going to get that, but I'll never count it out. Anything can happen. Any form of negative news like we experienced yesterday, and sure enough, the market it puts in some volatility spikes. It heads a little bit lower. You get that volatility crash, then it gets bought right back up. But with USO moving higher not too long ago, I took my eyes off of it, so I'm not too sure what it's doing, but I'm sure it's climbing a little bit higher as the market is starting to come back in. Eli Lilly is going absolutely nuts right now, Obi.
Yeah, that's not a name that I usually watch here, but as we're coming into some of these pullbacks, I'm closely watching these futures here. Apple is one of them for sure. One of the constituents for sure that I'm watching. Google I might take a shot at Google. Tesla, I do really like that idea on Tesla for a bit of a pullback as the market takes a curl down as well. But guys, there is one that continues to rip to the upside, and that is Micron. I was just like, okay, well, maybe the backside is here because we've been selling off pretty aggressively, and especially the sell-off on Monday, but only took 2 days to bid right back up and way past those prices there. So currently printing some fresh highs on the week here on Micron. So I do have eyes on Micron. I kind of marked out some of these support and resistance levels. I should go back and mark some more up above here, but you can see pretty decent hold of a trend here along with the rest of the market on Micron. SNDK, let's take a quick look at some of these names at the same time. We'll wait and see if there is actually going to be a pullback as we printed the first red candle on the 15-minute here on both the ES and
Dude, look what Tesla's bouncing off right there.
Pre-market highs.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold there. I mean, that's something you might want to watch out for.
Yeah, exactly.
At the same time, man, funny enough, I was watching Meta, and Meta was a decent reversion here as well. In the morning session, you can see strong bid, strong opening candle as well. Look at that bottom wick at the same time, and then just cracks that 582 for a flush down to 574s here, but it's kind of balanced out, holding above VWAP now. So that's something that I'm watching too. But let me know in the chat, what are you guys up to? What are you guys watching? And we can take a quick look at that. People are saying oral GLP approval is that's why Lilly is running. Okay, wow, yeah, take a look at that. That's definitely a breaking news trade. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Let's pull over to LLY, which trades not on the NASDAQ, but the NYSE. Let's see if the reversion here is going to be any sort of nice E here. That was horrible. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Fresh news on this one. GLP-1 approval. Let's take a quick look at a higher time frame chart at the same time to see what we're dealing with, see what we're up against. VWAP, get out of there. We don't need you. Okay, so there's some support here potentially at 99.65s. Let's see. Let's go to an hourly real quick. Okay, so there's a lot of support here that we did crack through. So low, mid to high 960s I'm seeing there, and maybe some chop in and around here as well, 950. But we're way past that. We're $5 past that as of right now. But is this a little too far too fast? That's the first question that I really like to ask here. So if I'm getting into this, think about the risk, man. That's 961. We're at 56s, so that's almost a $5.50 risk if I'm going to give it appropriately to the upside. So definitely going to be sizing in accordingly relative to that. But fresh news. I'll wait. I wasn't here on this bid, so I don't have as much information as I'd really like on it right now. But we shall wait and see if it continues or if we can find a place for it to fade this move. But I got to check the news at the same time, right? So let's go in and take a look at what the news potentially is here. Let's scroll back a little bit. No, I'm still seeing SpaceX stuff. Okay, cool. Let me see what time. Give me the timestamp there. 11:24. So about 10 minutes ago, roughly, there on LLY. So here we go. FDA approves Eli Lilly's GLP-1 weight loss pill. Foundayo. Okay. Starts shipping Monday via Lilly Direct. $25 a month with insurance. $149 to $349 out of pocket, depending on the dose. I guess it's not as effective as a different one there, but can be taken anytime without restrictions. They expect approval in 40 plus countries over the year. So over the next year. So that's the news there on Eli Lilly. So decent move there on that news. We got about a almost 2.79% move. Good stuff. And it seems like it wants to continue going. There goes the market with another leg up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of this Tesla trade here, man.
That support held, I guess.
Yeah, it held too well. I mean, we got into. I was looking for a little bit more, but just the way that things are moving right now, I have to be prepared to get out relatively quick, right? Like even if it breaches 82, we'll take a 5-cent hit on that one and just get out of Dodge. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Obi. The market held up really well at that specific zone, so. I'm prepared to get out of this position exactly when we need to.
Nice. Let's see.
Okay, coming right back in here now.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm still kind of looking around here. There's a few things going on right now. 11:30. Maybe you don't expect a little bit of volatility. This is in and around the time where you have the European close at the same time. So sometimes the markets move, sometimes they don't. It's really dependent on things that I do not understand very well. But let's see what else is going on here. What was on your watch list this morning? That's what I want to ask you. Like, what were some of the major names? Because I had Nike, and then I had a couple earnings names as well.
Nike, CYCN I don't typically. I don't trade very well, so very rarely will I trade Nike. But just considering the current environment, I just kind of went back to default settings as well. That's going to be the Teslas, the NASDAQs, the IBITs, and see what we had going on there. Oracle was climbing higher this morning, but you have to be really cautious on how you trade that one, I find. So that was really my narrative, is to see, like, hey, what is going to be kind of the trend within today's session? And it's just unfortunate. my default is just like head over to the NAS, and one thing I'll be honest with you guys, I gave myself a little analysis paralysis at one point because I was looking at all the Mag 7, Google was climbing higher, some of them were moving a little bit lower, and I'm like, oh no, what am I doing here, and it kind of led to me not re-engaging when I was supposed to, but this was my top objective, and I got out of these shorts here on TQs when I seen that Google was climbing higher. I'm like, I stand zero chance of shorting this market when Google's climbing higher, all right? And then sure enough, I had a target of 43.50 in mind here on the TQQQs, but again, this is where I really missed the opportunity to get re-involved with that trade, and sure enough, off to the races it goes. So that was really what was on my watch list here today, OB. How about yourself?
You know, I had Nike. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. It's back at my desk. They're definitely. You know what? I can just go on this. I wonder if they still have some of the data that was there in pre-market. Sometimes some of their data does lag a little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, okay. It was RH. That was the one. RH. Being, I forget what they stand for here. RH being not Robinhood, but whatever. This was the stock that I had on watch. A little bit of a fade there on their earnings report, down over 20% coming into the open, and yeah, definitely an SSR name on the day today. I was looking to continue this move, fade it, but it was popping up off of the open, so I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to leave this one alone. But I guess the sellers did step right back in after about 9:55. From a high of, what is that, 113s all the way down into 106s. So a decent move there. On the break of that uptrend, gives you about a roughly 5 to 6% move there on RH. But yeah, some of these tickers that are getting slammed off their earnings reports. I mean, you can either look for a bounce, look for a continuation. It seems like both worked on RH today, but Nike, I was looking for that continuation, and this one probably came in the cleanest, other than that morning craziness that happened there where it was swiping 50 to 60 pennies there. So if you are aggressively sized on a $46 stock, then yeah, that 50, 60 pennies can be pretty hurtful as well. But holding that VWAP was nice. The retest of 46, this was the spot right here, because you can see the highs there. It only went to a high of 46.05, and then this second bar here on the 3-minute, 46.04. So maybe you're getting in 46s, risking 10, 15 pennies, or maybe keeping it tight and risking 5 pennies right there and being like, all right, well, if we're going to turn off of this, I expect it not to come back at all, because 46 might be a level there that's it was kind of trying to get through it right off of the open. It was chopping around, kind of struggling, and then on the rebid, it can barely get back above it. So I think that's something to watch out for there, and it gives you a pull down into 45.19s. But it is SSR starting to get a little bit of a creep back up with higher highs and higher lows relative to the low there at 45.19. So Nike, yeah, pretty decent. I'm going to be patient. We'll see if it can get back up to VWAP, and then maybe I'll reassess it there. We'll see if it can get back up to 46s. I'll reassess it there as well. Maybe we get that confluence and 46 and VWAP align there at the same time. Eli Lilly still holding those highs there, so nothing too crazy going on. Let's see, on my relative volume scanner, finally, I got a stock that populated my scanner, and it's Unilever, UL. Let's see what's going on here. Relative volume, 3 times, there it is, 2.5 times as of right now. Don't know if this thing has news today, but you can see over the past couple of days, this thing has had decent volume. So maybe today's day 2 of the move there, Joe, because yesterday, pre-market, we were doing 16 times our vol, and then throughout the day, 5 to 6 to 7 times relative volume here. So a little bit of a slow bid after a double bottom in the morning session. You can see that in and around $55. gives us the break of opening range highs and a slow, steady trend to the upside as of right now. So other than that, I'm not really watching anything else. You guys let me know. Jack, is that a stock? Really? Oh, Jack in the Box. Yeah. Jack in the Box is doing nothing as of right now. 285K volume, yeah, so not really my thing. I want something to be doing dollar volume, right? Volume is one thing, but at the same time, I do want things to be doing dollar volume. So look at that. That's Lilly right there, pushing back up towards its highs. It's a nice little flag formation there at the highs on LLY. As of right now, but what are you guys trading? MOS, CYCN. I guess we can keep a look on CYCN. So bit of a pullback right now. You know what? I gotta check how much borrows are for this one, Joe.
There goes the market there, Obi, to the top side. I'm glad we got out of this NVDA trade. I mean, we got the breakdown, and then I got out before it even breached the high. With the market continuously grinding higher, at this point, it's like when it's quiet like this. I'm going to be patient and wait for some form of pullback to look to get involved on maybe one of these dips here, because every dip is just getting bought right back up, and I think that's going to be the narrative for the session. Could I be wrong later into the day? Absolutely, but I just feel like that's what we got going on. USO going up and Q's going up. Yeah, I know. The decoupling of that inverse correlation, I think, is fully in play right now, guys. I just don't think it was what it was a couple weeks ago, I should say. It's a different trade now, and you have to be prepared, and that's why I have no issues. That's why I have no issues with just throwing things to the side and waiting for some good opportunities. KD, listen, I'm the exact same way, right? It's like you have to wait for some form of a pullback and look to get in on those longs. If you look at the NASDAQ and the Tesla trade, it's just like dip, 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 through some support levels, buy through the support levels, and the next thing you know, it climbs a little bit higher. Where I should have taken some profit off, I was looking for that 2-to-1 risk to reward. I wasn't fortunate enough to get that. Okay, so 78 out at 83s. So instead, I take a half-hour loss. Okay, so I was close to a 1-to-1, not quite, and then it comes back, and I'm like, you know what? Let's take that half-hour loss and just get out of Dodge. With these slow grinds, you have to be prepared to just sit on the sidelines for a little bit, maybe even to the later half, and wait for those high-quality opportunities to display themselves as the market is just steady up and to the right on today's session. Makes things a little bit more difficult, especially if you're looking for more of that momentum play. So, yeah, Klua, Adara's gone for the rest of the week. She's gone to Winterpeg, and I mean and there it is. So yeah, she's gonna be spending some time because we have Friday off, right? So there it is. I mean, top ticks on the stop out, comes back in. It's the nature of the beast. All right. So we just got to be prepared for that. Yeah, Sharif's south, Adara's northwest. All right. So they're both respectively on their own vacations. MU, how's MU been performing today? Man, you guys got me FOMO, man. Where's Rebecca? That I don't know, man. MU is still climbing higher. Wow, look at this one go. A nice recovery here on Micron. Yeah, wow is right, Assassino. Bounce off of that, breaks through that support level, and then off to the races with a low of 318. Bam, give you $60 just like that in the span of a couple of days. Yeah, big bang over there, Assassino. There's Ethereum. This is slowly what we want to start to see, right? In Ethereum and IBIT. So one thing that I'm keeping an eye out on with these two is that it's good. It's a positive note that we held that base, but look what happened here at that $48 mark. $10 ago in IBIT, look what happened. It's pretty identical. Like you base out the typical lengthy consolidation, you climb a little bit higher, meep, all the way to the downside. I'm just hoping that this isn't the case here in IBIT or in Bitcoin. Wouldn't be surprised if we do a little bit of a liquidity grab and then come back up. But you can see we have our multiple points almost established. And I think that's going to be the good opportunity for me to engage in a trade or add into a current long-term position that full disclosure, that I have with Bitcoin and via IBIT, is just get in off of these lows on the backside of this trend in anticipation that we'll find somewhat of a recovery. I think it's going to take probably leading into the next halving cycle for us to find a full recovery. Things take significantly longer in the market than what we anticipate, and we have to be prepared for that. And if it happens sooner, then I'll be more than happy and more than grateful that I'm still sitting in half of what I had before. I forget what I sold some at, but regardless of that, that's my narrative and that's my game plan here on Bitcoin, Obi, is just wait for the backside of that trend, and then maybe it's going to be in the latter half of the halving cycle, or of this halving cycle.
All right. I think you already know my opinion on Bitcoin. I have, with the kind of volatility in the legs that it makes, I'm curious to know which direction it's going to travel in. I'm looking at some of the market movers as of right now. So let's take a look at some of these volume gainers. I was checking, I guess, Market Chameleon, but some of the names we've already covered, but some we haven't. RENX. Enterprises, so more small caps here in play today. So decent relative volume. Wow, 746 times relative volume here on RENX Enterprises. We've got some NVIDIA here, Intel continuing to make some fresh highs. Nike, of course, earnings day one, still holding underneath. I guess maybe this is stair stepping down. Maybe I like this a little bit more here. So 4560s was that pullback low where we came in and tested 46s and then broke back below that. Now the question becomes, does that support hold as resistance? Well, it has been over the past couple of tests here, 4560s, roughly 1, 2, 3, 4 tests of this area, but we're creeping up into it as well, right? Take a look at this, double bottom lows, and with some higher lows as well on Nike. So, I'm not really making a decision here, but I am kind of watching it to see if it has anything else in store for me. GPU, Axe Compute Inc. Interesting. Health technology, medical specialties, eh? Okay, so engages in the application of AI medicine. That's a fun topic right there. But earnings day today. Decent trend on this one as well. Higher highs, higher lows, and it's a $3 stock. So pretty solid look there. I know some of you guys were mentioning, Mike DeRuyter in the chat, mentioning AGPU. So solid stuff here. Again, what's the float on this thing? I got to check what the float on this thing is. Wow, no way. There's no way it has a 53,000 share float. Let me just make sure that that's AGPU. Let me make sure that's correct here. Where is the shares float? I don't even have information of the shares float. There are shares outstanding. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Do you guys know what the float on AGPU is? Because if it's 50,000 shares, like it says here, which I don't think is correct, it's done about 49 million, roughly almost 49 million shares traded. Talk about the rotation of that float there on AGPU. That's absolutely massive on this name here. So maybe one to keep an eye out for. Micron continues to make higher highs, higher lows, fresh highs on the day, 375.25s. Nokia, that's interesting. Nokia, that's a pretty solid trend on Nokia. At the same time, 34.5 million shares traded. RZLV, Resolve. This one is not a small cap. $1.02 billion market cap, but a $3 stock here on RZ or ZLV. Nio, nothing crazy. ONDS, whatever. Tesla still holding at its highs. PBR, these guys are petroleum. I remember these guys, but a little bit distinctly different than some of the oil names, I guess. Snapchat, BCG, BP. So, oh, hello. BP is looking nice. Did they have earnings? Look at this relative volume here on BP. That's a decent flush, and then more flushing coming in. Maybe I should cut my scanner to be like, I think my relative volume scanner is measured at 3 times RVol. I should probably cut it down to 2 because I'm seeing a lot of these names here, which I would probably be interested in if I had known they're doing some decent relative volume on the day. So BP obviously being one of them. SoFi not really doing relative volume, but interesting move off of the open. Nice little flush. Flushing action probably wouldn't have taken anything there. Things have to do relative volume for me to be, remotely interested, unless it's in play, something like an oil, something like maybe even the market over the past couple of days. Don't forget, Trump is speaking tonight at 9 p.m. So those of you who are trading the Blue Ocean session, probably going to be some interesting volatility happening at 9 p.m. today. But yeah, no, USO is going to be interesting, maybe some defense names as well. Let's take a quick look at LMT and RTX, see what they've been up to. Relative volume in the pre-market sessions, but nothing really in the intraday over the past couple of days here on LMT, RTX. Let's take a look at this one here as well. Similar story there, Joe. Every day this week, pre-market has decent relative volume, and then intraday that volume dies off. So take that piece of information however you want, but that's kind of interesting to me. Take a look at our friend Lilly and see what she's up to here. Wow, continues to make some fresh highs here. 968s, poised for that 970 here on LLY. So talk about a continuation trade. Let's set up an anchored VWAP here. Okay, I guess it's kind of starting to extend off of that anchored as of right now, and getting a little choppy. Look at the range of these bars now. Absolutely crazy. That range is opening up. So I'll watch USO at 9 saying hangry wife trading. Yeah, of course, I'm going to be watching USO pretty much all day today. I haven't really seen anything too crazy on this one. I know that Sean was short off of the open. I think off of the open, the short idea was pretty solid. Gap down, consolidating underneath prior day's lows. That was pretty decent there, and it did give you a bit of the move there, especially off of the opening range low breakdown. That was pretty clean. It retests that opening range low right here at about 945 and then rejects as well. So it gave you multiple chances. Not only that, it gave you VWAP holds once, twice, 3 times before it started to consolidate and orbit around VWAP from 11 o'clock to 11:20. So in my opinion, distinctly different kind of action relative to what we were seeing throughout the morning session here on USO. But bigger picture, you guys know that I was talking about this 124 area yesterday as being somewhat of an interesting area for me because it was the opening range high on March 9th where we got that gap up and flush. So all we've been doing is sideways consolidation orbiting at that range high on the day today. Who knows? Let's take a look at a higher time frame and see what I'm talking about here. So I emphasized this yesterday as well, that there's been so much news on this thing back to back, but technically it's been absolutely so sound, right? You can be like, okay, yeah, there's intraday panic, there's intraday pops based off of news from the White House, from Trump, from Iran, whatever, but guess what? Price action-wise, all this thing has been doing is just consolidating at the high of the range, pulls back, kind of holds this area here, here on these pullbacks from Monday last week, and then bids right back up for a breakout of this range high, and then now holding those range highs. You can see multiple days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it could not get through that 124 area. We finally get through, bounce off of it in the pre-market on Monday, bounce off of it yesterday after the strong flush, now orbiting around that 124 area all day long, including in the pre-market today. So interesting action there. I like to exercise in and around support and resistance levels, and if you had only those support and resistance levels in mind, regardless of which news came in, sure, the news can add strong confluence on the momentum, but bigger picture, technically very, very sound here on USO. But I haven't really taken a trade on this just yet. Let's see what my MRVL is doing. I'm still in this position, so let's take a quick look at MRVL. Where are you at? Okay, so I got short here, and yeah, I guess it's just been chopping sideways on top of VWAP, so probably going to be done with this one if it's going to continue doing this sideways chop while the market continues higher. Probably don't want to stick around too long on this one as well. Everything is pushing for some fresh highs today. Interesting. We bid all day yesterday. We bid well, not all day, but majority of the day today. And Trump has a special announcement at 9 p.m. today.
9 p.m., man. 9 p.m.
And then we get, I wouldn't say decorrelation, but somewhat of a distinct difference in how USO is acting relative to the rest of the markets as well. So interesting information, to say the least.
I mean, yeah, Clue, that's not a good idea to do that. I mean, the market's putting in a new high, essentially, right?
What's the idea?
Oh, to not trade hungover, Clue said.
Oh, yeah,
don't
don't trade hungover, don't trade sick either.
Yeah, don't.
You know, that's why I'm keeping it a little,
sleep.
you know. Yeah, exactly.
What's up,
I was
Fabian?
dozing off this morning, man. What's going on? How's it going? I saw Fabian at the Shoppers
Time did you go to bed at? Time did you go to bed at last?
Dude, I tried to get to bed. Okay, so here's the thing. There was a banger trade on in Blue Ocean last night.
What was it?
But my head was pounding. So it's just a fade. It's just another reversion, like another iteration of a reversion trade.
Okay.
So I take it, you know, it comes in, you know, like $1 in the money. I'm like, all right, cool, cover some, comes right back, stop out of the rest, take it again, you know, take a little bit off. And then I'm like, my head is pounding. I'm going to just, you know, go lay down for a bit. I go lay down for about 30 minutes. It comes back in, and then it fades, flushes, dumps, capitulates, and then bids back up. I'm like, that's what I was looking for. So anyways, that happened around like 9:30-ish, I think. But, you know, I went to bed around 12 o'clock. I got to bed at like, I think 10:30, 11, but I could not get to sleep until midnight, and tossing and turning all night.
Oh,
so.
yeah, that's
why I was dozing off at the desk this morning, which is not the best.
Take a little
nap. Better to just to keep it light, or maybe not even trade at all on those days.
Agreed. All right, guys, it's that lunchtime hour. We're going to send it off to Neil with his lesson of the day.
Hey, welcome everybody. We got the lesson of the day. It's going to be it'll be a different feeling today. It'll be a little bit more somber of a lesson. And it's something I'm going to talk about what sort of happened with a keystroke error on Intel, like, and what you can do in that situation. But I just want to get one thing out of the way before I get into it. And you know, I'm telling you guys, it's an absolute pleasure to come on here, be able to talk about the stock market, and to be able to have such a great community and team around us for so long. And you know, we've been doing this for a while now. And look, I'll just be straight up with you. When you make a keystroke error, sometimes it's of the nature of maybe a stop and you go in the wrong direction, or you might add a few zeros, and when that happens, it can be pretty painful. And every now and then, you know, it can be big enough that, you know, your account can get put into question, and then, you know, you have to talk to the risk manager, something that I haven't had to deal with in my career. But unfortunately, today, you know, the hit that I took, which I don't mind talking about, and I'm going to talk about it as a lesson, was sort of large enough that you're probably not going to see me on as often going forward after having a discussion with our, you know, overall owner of the office, who we get risk from. So it's one of those things. It's unfortunate, but like I said, I've been blessed to be able to talk to you guys every single day, to be able to trade in front of you. And I don't know how often I'll be on, but you know, things will be a little bit different going forward, unfortunately. But that's it, and I don't mind. I'll be professional about it, and we can talk about when you get a keystroke, and there's two or three different types of ways it can happen. I feel like the most often that people mention is called the fat finger, which in any particular case, that's just going to mean you take more shares than normal. Maybe you add a 0 or 2 or something along those lines, and then you're just in a bigger position than you want. We always say get out of that trade right away. But there's another side of it too, because you could do that and you could be in the wrong direction, meaning you wanted to be short and you get too many shares. Well, at least you're in the right direction. You could have both of those things happen. Like, you get too many shares, but you also go in the wrong direction. So it's like the worst possible keystroke error. The irony of the one today, I followed my own rule, which was get out instantly. A, you have a position you didn't want to the long side. B, you have more shares than you want to the long side. And of course, you can see what eventually happens into Intel. And you can get a lot of FOMO because holding it would have been, you know, obviously a sizable winner for myself. Not something I would have intended to do, but it would have been a happy accident in this situation. But you can't trade like that. You always have to adhere to, if I was to take this action and have to do it every single day, 100 times out of 100, what would be the right thing to do? And that means manage out, get out. You didn't want to have it, or you have too many shares, so either trim the position to the amount that you want, or just simply get out because that's not something that you wanted to be in. I've seen it time and time again where it's like, it can end a trader's career, it can set it back, and anything in between. And ultimately, that's what you want to be protecting yourself against. And yeah, okay, fine. Bunch of you have already figured it out. Yeah, I'm flat out messing with you guys. You crazy? I'll tell you this right now. Obviously, you know it's April Fool's. So for any of you that actually got fooled by that, shame on you. I don't think it was, I thought it was pretty obvious, but like there was way too many people that were like already getting it. I thought it was being somber enough, Joe. No one got that? Okay, so what? I guess I didn't fool anybody. Damn. Y'all good. Because I was trying to not crack a smile. I thought I was keeping a straight face. In all seriousness, no. And now that the cat's out of the bag, no. I've made keystrokes in the past. None of them have ended my career. And it's been for that reason. Because there's two different types of risk. There's the risk inherent in your trade, meaning I'm getting in at price X, my stop is at price Y. This is what I expect to lose. And then there's like black swan risk, where like something unforeseen happens. News comes out in the middle of your trade and dries up, and you can't actually exit your position because there's no liquidity. You could have a situation where like, you're just sitting in a stock and nothing's happening, and then it has news out of nowhere, or halts, news-based. And you're just sitting in that trade and it's halted, and there's nothing you can do. Your stops are useless until it opens back up. You could get trapped late in the day in a stock that halts and then have to hold it overnight. Again, there could be a black swan event in a sector, and you're not trading with a stop, or maybe your stop gets run and it moves so far that your limit order doesn't even get filled if it's an aggressive limit order. Dave says I had you for 3 seconds, but you were too cool about it. Oh, so if I like pretended to cry or something? Dang it. You a bum, Neil. My mascara started running and everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm still invested in the cheese, in our cheese dispenser business. I'm just saying. Well, first of all, Joe's like our cheese. No, if I'm invested everything in this cheese dispenser business, then I think I can speak like we, because if it fails, then I fail too. So I can fully say that. No, so like when you do have that type of a situation happen to you, which is a complete black swan, that's the other side of risk. And there are very few situations under which, personally myself, I won't manage risk such that even if that happens, it's something I can build out of. Now, I can't show you the chart for this, but it was sometime last year where I was in a position in the pre-market, and I'll try to use, what went parabolic today? DXYZ. So I'm gonna use a chart of something parabolic to give you sort of an idea of something that happened to me. So I was trading in the pre-market. Imagine something along the lines of, I can use this chart actually. Like if you have a stock that has this kind of a range, and I was trading a stock where it's relatively tight like this, and I was just sort of looking out at the resistance, and if I can get those types of fills in the pre-market on light volume, like I know where the resistance is, and I knew the stock really well, and I was sort of sitting here, and in this particular case, it was a company being bought, so it was very unlikely to move higher. I got into a short position on a swipe where the only liquidity early in the pre-market was myself and another order. So I got the fill effectively here, and then there was no offer on the stock. Now, the way our system works is it's like, what if you're short, what is the best offer that you could punch out on? It was so early in the morning that no one was on the offer until like up here. So the system was like, oh, by the way, you're short here, you're out of the money this much. That's what the system at Real Trading said, which is rightfully kind of what it's supposed to do. But the stock didn't actually print above here until something interesting happened. My clock ran down to 0 and I got flattened. Well, when you're here and it flattens you into the next best bid is here, and it's not even for that many shares, I basically caused a black swan on this stock. And then when it opened up, it kind of opened up down here, and then it did exactly, it was almost exactly like this. Like it did like some crazy candle up here, which was basically all me just getting flattened. And then a few minutes later, it was back down there. It opened up right where you would expect it. It was just all the rest down. But even that hit, I only had an amount of shares that if a disaster happened, yeah, that was my only red month last month. But I was able to battle it back the next month and get back to green. So you do have to keep those like black swan, even the black swan, like worst case scenarios, keep it in the back of your mind. Would that end my career? Would it blow up my account? It's hard to protect against, but the first thing you can do is A, if you make a keystroke error, don't try to hero trade it. Sure, I would have had a huge day if I held on to that long in Intel. But it was a reversion short. I was supposed to be getting out. It was an accidental reversal. I just punched out. It is what it is. Took the hit and moved on. You're going to pay some fees, and you're going to pay a little bit better than the spread in that moment because I just don't want to be in that position. But you do have to protect against sometimes like that. You can call it unexpected downside, but in this particular case, it's the added risk that you didn't want, right? And it's in the direction that I wasn't looking for. It's not a trade that is in my toolbox. So why would I risk losing big on something? It's not something that I would make money on in the first place. It doesn't matter that it would have worked. Like, because this is and the other side of it too is if it would have worked, if I had done that and held on to it and just held it to the high and still been Intel, here's what you would never see me. I wouldn't be celebrating it. I'd be telling you the same thing now. What I'd say is, oh, you know what? I made this mistake, held on to it like an idiot and happened to make money. But I won't do it again. Because, and I'm going to end with this, and I haven't even touched the lunch, so I can't tell you how it is. The market is more than willing to reward you for doing something which is against your plan, which might be foolish, and which overall will lose you money. The markets do that all the time, right? Like you buy something without a stop, it happens to work out, you keystroke, you hold it, it works out as a fluke, you fight the trend for half the day, and then randomly in the middle of the day, a piece of news goes your way by complete fluke, and then next thing you know, you're in the money. Those types of things, the market can reward you all the time. But if you consistently do things that don't add up, you're gonna lose. And that's all too often why traders will lose money. Traders lose money in this business. At least when I'm sitting on a prop desk, the trainees that come in, like half of the traders that come in on a prop desk, they can find a winner here and there. They can find good trades. That's really not an issue. Like I can find all people that will find a good trade here, a good trade there. But their ability to not get blown out when they are wrong, not get blown out when they break a rule, not get blown out when the market does something they don't expect, that's what separates you as a trader. And the first thing you can do is if you make a mistake, just quickly get out of the trade. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to fight the market. Don't try to fight your rules. Don't try to make a mistake work out in your favor by a complete fluke. That's how people blow up accounts. And good luck to everybody for the rest of the day. Been a bit long-winded. We'll see how this lunch ends up. Like I told you, I haven't even opened it. It looks okay. Potatoes. We said we got that like little chicken in here, but it visually looks like about a 6.5, like pretty average. But I'll let you guys know in a few minutes. Peace.
Thank you very much. Yeah, solid lesson of the day, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely have seen a lot of traders come and go through the floor, and yeah, those are definitely a lot of the differentiating factors for sure. In this MRVL, I was watching Lilly. I was just talking to Joe about Lilly here. The first crack of trend, I kind of hesitated here at that 966s, and it just flushes down like $5. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I got to risk 10. I don't know if I want to really do that right now, but it seems like the pullback is on potentially for Lilly, but I'll be patient. I'll wait. Where's the next trade? Market taking a little bit of a red 15-minute candle here, with about 3 minutes left to close. At the same time, I took a bit of an ad here on MRVL as it pulled up into this range high and start to slow down again. So if we're going to range on top of this VWAP, maybe I'm looking for more of the same to happen here. As the market's strong, but even though the market's strong, we've been consolidating sideways on top of VWAP 1040 to about 12.15 almost now. So if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. That's fine. But 106 is and some change is the high of the range here. On MRVL, Damn Q's couldn't punch up another 2 cents. Trader Forever saying, yeah, I mean, the Q's are continuing to push up higher as of right now, right? You just kind of continue back to back. We had the first red candle, and then we swipe up again. We're forming a bit of a red candle right now here on the NASDAQ and the ES, but it seems like it's just more consolidation within the uptrend. So nothing too crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if we just bid up for the rest of the day and then have a bit of a craziness happen at 9 p.m. tonight.
Is that what you're preparing yourself for, Obi?
I mean, I feel like that's going to be a trade today.
Okay.
I could be very wrong, and more than willing to be wrong on that. But I think there's going to be some interesting news at night. Whether it moves the markets or not, I have no idea. But I'm looking for that kind of an action there in the afternoon today. So haven't really gotten any crazy news on USO or oil or anything like that so far today, right? So I do have. Know that Adara is not here, so I do have some of my news resources up and closely watching for anything that could potentially bring some volatility into this market here. Let's see. So I guess as of 30 seconds ago, I got a White House official. President Trump expected 2 to 3 week timetable for ending Iran operation in the Wednesday address.
He also stated that he has no issues with going back if he has to as well too.
Yeah,
so
of course he's gonna be posturing that.
So he'll go
happens,
back if needed.
Yeah.
He says. Obi, this Tesla trade, we're starting to get a little bit of a breakdown. Honestly, what I had here, I added 150% onto this position up here. And I'm like, you know what, if it holds this, failed to establish a high right up here, I'm like, let's just get involved, risking a couple of pennies. I'm taking just cents right now, just considering it just keeps getting bought back up. If we bounce off of this level one more time, I'll have to take another partial out. I took out 30%, maybe 35% or 40 right there on that one. Sorry to interrupt you, but we're sitting in this Tesla looking for a little bit of a breakdown, but it just keeps getting bought right back up, which makes things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, no, good luck with the Tesla there.
Yeah.
I think maybe we pull back now. I mean, I don't know how far extended we are.
I don't know. It's so grinding, man. It's just like every support level is just getting bought right back up. So that's why we bounce off of there. I'm like, okay, let me take some off there at least. And maybe we get a flush right here. There it is. Bang. We'll take that. There we go. Finally, Obi.
Yeah, no, that Lilly's coming in quite nicely.
That's what we want right there.
Yeah.
Bang. Yes. All right, man. Not too bad of a look there whatsoever. But yeah, how's that MRVL going?
MRVL's doing whatever. It's at the high of its range. Close to getting stopped out, but more than willing to hold it into there, if anything. But I'm kind of just watching this Lilly as it continues to make some fresh lows here relative to what we've been doing since that news came out. So, VWAP sitting in and around 950. It's about $10 away with a high of 973. As of right now, I'm trading at 960s. So I'm going to continue watching this one. Does it make a higher low here, or do we actually crack and push lower? That's the question that I'm asking right now. But again, my entry should have been up here at 967s, 965s. But sometimes I'm watching this thing closely. I don't necessarily trade this, things that move like this very often. But it's like $2 to $3, sometimes $4 swipes every time any sort of volume comes in. And there's not a lot of liquidity on these as well. So let's take a quick look. LLY on the NICE, and I can show you guys. Oh, this is showing one lots. Okay. Let's kind of go to absolute shares here so we can see how much size is actually sitting on every price. Look at that, 40 shares, 50 shares at each price level, 100 shares, 1 share at on the NASDAQ, or sorry, NICE book there at 92.90. So it's just like it's not as liquid, and it has about $1 spread. Right, at times $1, 50 pennies to $1, sometimes even less. Like right now, you can see this is the level 1 right here. I guess I can't really zoom into this, but you can see, wow, there. You see what I mean? Now it's a $2, almost a $1.50 spread there on Lilly as we try to push back below 960s. But yeah, bit of a miss on my part. It's all good. When I'm not feeling that well, I'm not really beating myself up too much about not being as precise on some of these entries. I understand that my my reflexes and everything else is you know, a little bit lackluster when it comes to trading not at 100%. So there's no reason for me, if I'm aware of that, to you know, beat myself up too much about it right here. Meta continuing to push higher as of right now. So is Alphabet. We talked about Google being absolutely strong. Guess what? It continues to do more of the same here as we continue to push higher and higher there. Wow, there it goes. 98.80s, or 958.80s on the bid there on Lilly. So that's what I mean. It swipes down, breaks that 960, $2 to $3 within a few seconds. There's 57s there on the bid, so probably poised to pull into that 950 area if it continues to do this kind of action. But the market, this is on news, right? That was Lilly news. You had an aggressive move. I'm always looking for the rubber band, and that's why, you know, kind of when something moves a little too far too fast, I do like to step in and be like, all right, cool, you know, let's calm down, let's take it easy, let's revert this back to some sort of a mean, and that 967 was quite nice, I guess. But when things move slowly like this, it's distinctly different, right? That's where I'm trying to get at. It's distinctly different because, you know, there is price acceptance along the way. There's consolidations along the way. So it's not necessarily too far, too fast. It could be on a higher time frame, right? And maybe you want to switch to a higher time frame when it comes to that. But when I'm looking at a 3-minute chart here, you can see, yeah, sure, off of the open aggressive drive, pulls back in. You have some acceptance at 293s from the buyers, and then you know, buyers step it up 295s, and then buyers step it up once again on the break of the, you know, this opening morning session high. Buyers step up to 296s and continue just to push higher. So in terms of this, maybe I'm being a lot more patient to revert this. So maybe I'm going to like a 15 minute or like even higher, maybe go to like a 30-minute or an hourly chart as well, where, yeah, maybe this action is a little too far too fast, but one could argue that we're just reverting the selling that we were having from last week. All of last week, we sold off pretty aggressively here on Google. Now we've reverted pretty much almost 100%, I'd say. Is that Monday? That's Tuesday. So almost 100%, definitely over 60% within the past 2 days. So there's bigger picture stuff kind of going on here, and this, technically, I would say, is the reversion of this selling that was happening. So 2 days to get us back above more than 60% there on the selling. So, all right, so we got a couple super chats here. Blue Pirates, thank you for the super chat. Asking, any chance to go short on Micron right now? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I have been watching this one, but it's just as strong as the rest of the market. So, in my opinion, I'm just going to reiterate the same thing as I was talking about Google. Like, there's price acceptance along the way. So it's kind of, I guess, harder to sell off unless and until we get a bigger market move that could bring this in at the same time, right? But, you know, I don't know, maybe you're using some other metrics to measure overextension and measure some of your, you know, reasons to sell. But as of right now, we've only been making higher highs and higher lows. So even if you look at the structure on like the 3-minute, we've been holding trend. Nothing has suggested that we've broken trend on Micron, right? Nothing has suggested that sellers are in charge now. So don't really know about that. Do you want to take the other one there? Hey trader, HEY trader, saying, word on the street, Trump will release more strategic oil reserves, fast-track permits, and suspend the gas tax. That's interesting. So is that which street is that word from? That's the question that I'd be asking you.
Sharif just sent me a video, and he's like, tell Assassino to put this on for everybody. I'm not doing that.
Why?
That's for sure.
Let's see the video.
I'll let you watch it while I ramble on a little bit here. Yeah. Well, first of all, he's covered in sand, and it's just like, all right, man. All right.
Is there sound on this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's sound, yeah, obviously, but I just kept it.
I got accident.
Oh, you got locked out there?
I got locked out there.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah. I want to watch this.
Yeah. We're not showing that. Anyways, aside from that, guys, maybe we get a little bit of a continuation here on TSLL, but considering we put on some shares here and we take that little bit of a slide, it comes back. I'm like, the market putting in a new high of the day. I'm not going to risk it whatsoever, holding my last 22% that I had remaining back to that break even. We'll just lock that in. We'll be fortunate enough to take that move lower, and it was just piecing some things out. So more or less a scalp, and it's really tough to play the retracement play and the breakdown when I didn't even hear what he said. He's
like, we're out here doing it live from Punta Canada.
Yeah, I know. He's doing it live out there.
He's got like sand in his mustache.
We're not doing that. But I'll send it to them. It's up to them if they want to play. But aside from that, guys, TSLL, that nice little breakdown. I was just risking to this previous pivot high. And then sure enough, we pieced it out. And I'm glad that I took out the majority, even though that's 22% right here. If it continues to break down, then so be it. But as I just mentioned, the TQs are putting in a new high of the day. They've ripped there as NVDA is slowly grinding higher as well, too. So it's just been a steady channel. And we're talking about playing these pullback. And it's really tough. And I think I played this one right. This one, not so much. Considering, like, it's just like, hey, take some out here, considering we have that grinding bid. And it's just really more difficult, especially when you don't have that ebb and flow. When it's quiet, as we typically say, Katina Man says this too, is just look for the opportunity to get involved on any dip buy and look for that fade. Even though Intel looks slightly intriguing here, Obi, what do you think about this consolidated base all the way up here? Heading towards some key support levels. If we get another pullback here and fail to establish a high, then maybe we can get in a potential move back in towards the volume weighted average price there in I would have way more confidence in shorting Intel. So there it goes. It's breaching it. I'm not going to sell the lows.
I like that a lot, yeah.
You like that a lot? Yeah, I like it too. I'm not going to sell the lows, Obi. I want to wait for a pullback and a retest of that trend line, even though it can work out, which it looks like right now. I just have a feeling that this market is going to get bought back up. Everyone buy CYNC for squeeze, please come on. I mean, we can't. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Adam James, we can't do that. But I'll do this. We'll show the video that Sharif sent me because he asked Assassino. If we get five super chats, if it doesn't matter the value or anything along those lines, 5 super chats, I'll send the video to Assassino, and then Assassino can make the business decision on whether he's going to show it or not. All right, so that's the deal I'm going to make for you guys. And chances are you're probably going to want to see the video. So 5 super chats, we get that running. Am I kind? I am kind, Obi, and I will count Adam James as one of the super chats. So 4 more, and then we will show Sharif's video of him on the beach. Everyone buy CYNC for squeeze, please. Come on, let's take a look at this name, my friend. You're out in Sarasota. Hope you're having a good time over there. CYNC. Is that correct? CYCN. Oops. CYCN. Okay. You wanted to squeeze, but it looks like it's breaking down. It might break down a little bit here, my boy. Ceasefire Therapeutics. I think this was on the watch list this morning. Is this why it was? So is this why you were looking at it? Squeeze. How much more of a squeeze do you want? The thing's already at 472% from the open. Squeeze? Where? It's already done that move. Adam James, maybe you catch an additional leg though, and be fortunate enough to catch that. But that's a big time move from $1.49 all the way up to $8.50. Good call out there, but a big bulk of that move for sure.
You know, you know what? Kind of watching this Micron here. You know, maybe you're right. I wasn't watching a 15-minute chart. You can see the first red 15-minute candle here on Micron as the market does look like it's pulling back a little bit here. So maybe I do want to take a bit of a stab at this one.
The Micron?
See if for a bit of a reversion here. The first sign of maybe some selling there on a 15-minute chart. But again, look how aggressively strong this thing is. Look at how it closed yesterday as well. So we've had a pretty strong continuation today. Maybe just watching 2 more minutes until this candle closes. So we've had 1 red candle here, and then we finally get a pretty much prior bar break since 10:30. We did break that on the 10:30 candle, and then swipe right back up as well. So I'm asking, is it going to be more of the same here? If the buyer's going to stay a little relentless on this thing on the day, market still at its highs? Yeah, maybe some sign of sellers starting to step in here. What's the open of this candle? 375. Okay, we're trading in and around 375s as of right now on Micron. So shout out to, who was it in the chat that brought it up? Blue Pirates 18. So yeah, maybe now, maybe that's what you were looking at, and I missed that, so sorry about that. But yeah, first red candle could, I like that pattern as well. Here goes the SPY, or the ES, with its second red candle in a row with only about a minute left. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the pullback that we've been waiting for. I have no idea, but I'm watching Micron a lot closer right now, so thank you for bringing it to my attention there at the same time. So let me know what else you guys are trading. Maybe I'll take. Maybe I will take this this Micron. I'll give it a closer look here, as it starts to show that maybe sellers are stepping in after an aggressive morning and midday session of straight buying here. So let's see, just to measure this out, like how aggressively did this bid? Almost 10% within 2 hours. That's wild. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's my turn now. I was just looking at this trade here on INTC. We're gonna get that rebound that we're looking for. Here goes Tesla. I've seen a couple of indecision prints on this pullback, and I'm like, oh no, I might have got out a little bit too early as we're starting to bid a little bit lower, and you can see it slowly start to drop as well. So printing 78s. If it hits 77s, then I mean, there it is. We get out when we were supposed to. We took the trade. We were accepting for what it is, considering we're going short the market right now, and it's been going oppo. So we're happy about it, regardless of what happens next. If it breaks down all the way back to VWAP, that'll suck, right? Considering we put on a couple of shares, regardless. Nothing substantial, I'll tell you guys. I mean, I only had 250 up here, but a little more would be nice. I'm going to look at this Intel trade, OB, as it's breaking down right now. We rejected the top end of that trend here, and we're hovering around that support level. So yeah, let's be patient and wait for some high quality opportunity. Short Nike like everyone else is. Johnny T, yeah, let's see what Nike's been up to. To be honest with you, I don't trade this thing very often. And with a couple times that I did, it's like, okay, why aren't you breaking down? Lower guidance, you essentially like suck, kind of, essentially.
Yeah, it's just holding trend, right? The thing's been beaten down so much. Wow, yeah. Look at that. It actually held that 40, 45 level, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it bounced.
Or sorry, that 46, 45 half
puts
level.
in a leg lower.
Wow.
There's no way that I can go short here, right? Like, there's no way I'm going to short this. I mean, it's not a bad trade, but where are you essentially wrong all the way up here? So you have to be giving this name like 50, 60 cents or so. I got to increase that risk to reward, brother Johnny T, in order for me to get involved. It's the same narrative here with this INTC trade, right? Like, we don't want to sell those lows, because where am I essentially wrong? Even though you may get that breakdown, where am I wrong? Not till 48.73. So I have to give this already 63 cents or so, and I'm like, no, we don't want that. We want to try to catch it as close to where we're going to be wrong as possible. Trade either works really good and you have a high risk to reward ratio, or you're in and out in the span of a couple of minutes. There goes the market. Tesla heading lower as well, guys. NVDA slowly starting to pull back. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is on that one. Nice little breakdown, but getting bought back up. Patience is key in this market. We did print 77s on the bid on TSLA. That would have been nice, but that's okay. We'll wait for another opportunity. We took that Scalp City over here, and now we're just going to wait for that next high quality opportunity. And the way that it's looking right now, Opie, for me, that's Intel.
Yeah,
that's
Intel's
Intel.
looking good, man.
Are you familiar? I know the gentleman at the I don't know if that's the front or at the back there, the production team, are big fans of A24. Are you an A24 fan?
What's an A24?
It's like a production company.
No, I don't know much.
They have like some good movies, the best movies, I should say.
What are some of the movies? I probably know some of the movies. I don't know.
Some of the movies. That's a great question. Where do we start? That's not funny. The Witch. The Witch is an A24 movie. What? Midsummer's an A24 movie. Pardon me? Weapons? Weapons wasn't that good though, Fabian. And what else do we got? Another, I Saw the TV Glow, and a bunch of other names. Anyways, they got this new movie coming out called The Back Room. Looks sick. Hereditary.
Ex Machina?
Heretic, yeah, Ex Machina.
Ex Machina is solid. I've seen that.
Ex Machina, Hereditary, Heretic are in those as well too. Heretic is a pretty good movie. So you take that back. Weapons was decent. Sorry, cool, bro. Shay. I don't think it was that good, to be honest. It was all right, but I've seen better. There goes that Intel. I'm looking forward to that new movie. Oh, and they have a new horror movie called Undertone. Watch that movie after Trader TV is done. Watch Undertone. Watch Undertone. It's like, oh, it's so good. Did you see Undertone, Fabian? No? Okay. So there's that breakdown through 4822. Listen, scary movies these days don't scare me, but Undertone was a little freaky. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. So essentially, I'll give you a
scary movie.
What's that?
I don't remember what the last scary movie was.
I'll watch scary movies on my own, but this was creepy. So, anyways, there's this podcast, and it's kind of relates to more modern day, right? There's this podcast, and they talk about like horror stories and creepy stories. Anyways, they receive these files of like someone recording something, and there's 10 files. And throughout the whole movie, they go through these 10 files, and it just gets creepier and creepier. Anyways, aside from that, Tesla breaking down printing 76s there, guys. And INTC, it looks like that ship might have sailed for now. If we can catch the top end of this channel, then we might get rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I'm just kind of holding on to this Micron, watching it. Got in a little bit, maybe a little bit too late. I would have preferred getting 375s flat. Would have been nicer, better price, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, shout out to one of our viewers, kind of called it out there, being like, okay, is this a good place to potentially start? And then I just go up a couple time frames, and yeah, the first red 15-minute candle after, let's count how many candles these were. After about 9 bars, 9 candles straight to the upside, the first sign of selling does bring us a little bit lower here. Now the question becomes, is it over? Is that bid done? Is it totally, is it time for some reversion is the question, right? But I do like the idea. The market did look like it was pulling back a little bit there, but it does seem like the buyers are very, very dominant on the day today. So they could easily just step right back in and take it to fresh highs. So we'll wait and see what happens there. 375 broke down. You can see par bar low. What was that breakdown in par bar low? The low was at 374.86s there. So we'll see what we do with that 374.86 area going forward as of right now. But you can see both the SPY and the NASDAQ, the S and the NASDAQ, just continuing to hold near their highs. Sure, we get 2 red candles in a row. Maybe looking for a bit of relief, but still continuation. And buyers are absolutely relentless today. So don't know how much longer some of the selling is going to sustain, especially if buyers decide to step back in. But I have no idea. We'll wait and see. Let's see what we have here. Fire erupted at a liquefied petroleum gas filling station close to a residential area in Indonesia. Okay. Yeah, no. So it's always you know, we're so used to this market being very news driven, and there hasn't been much news today to really drive anything around, other than some earnings names, I guess. But yeah, Lilly is definitely one of them. Lilly was a great push there, long and short, which is coming in 956s there on Lilly. So absolutely beautiful reversion. Take a look at that. That's on a 15-minute, but look at the 3-minute. That's what I like right there. 968s all the way almost back down to VWAP. So it gives you a decent amount of reversion there on the pullback. So I should definitely, you know, I kind of bummed out not being in this one, but wasn't fast enough to execute when I should have there. 967s, 968s was in my opinion the place to kind of get in. Maybe even 966s or 965s as well. So that one, a bit of a miss on my part. At the same time, what do you got going on?
I'm just looking at I'm looking at Intel here. We're getting that pullback, and I can risk just to the break of this trend, essentially. But I want to point this out first, is that essentially look at on every pullback, Gorev, Los Polios, I haven't seen you in the chat here today. Anyone who's just paying hyper attention to how these candles end up printing, look at this, boom, buying pressure hammer right there, boom, buying pressure hammer right there on every form of a pullback. So it's definitely a tougher session. At this point, you have to look for a pattern, something like INTC, where you failed to construct multiple highs, like IBIT climbing right back up, a little bit choppy, but putting in a new high of the day, right? NVDA is still hovering around this neck of the woods. So I like this pullback here because my risk profile is significantly tighter. I can give it 10 cents or so, and if it breaches this trend line, then I'm proven wrong. If it bounces off it, then guess what? I get to 06 if it goes back towards the low of the day. So I know I'm moving from TSLL over to INTC, but I just think it's a little bit weaker, and it's gone on a bigger move, considering, right? So a good opportunity here on INTC to get involved. If that trend line breaks, then so be it, right? But we'll just hop out of that trade, no worries whatsoever. So yeah, that's my game plan right now. You're still in MRVL, you're in that MU short. I haven't looked at those names just yet. So there goes INTC off of that specific level that I was looking at. We're gonna start small right here. Giving this, what we're at 19s. Okay, that's not too bad. We'll give it to 30s, 11 cents worth of risk, and then so be it. Boom, instantly a flush down, and that's kind of what we want to see. It's unfortunate that we're not involved here with this Tesla trade, but it is what it is. We took what we took, and then now we look for that next opportunity, and that's going to be an INTC. I'll pull it up for you guys. I very rarely trade Intel, to be honest with you. Because I didn't like it at times. I'm like, hey, why aren't you moving higher? Why aren't you moving higher? So this is the trend line I'm referring to. If it breaks that, even in that 25s, if we open up on the backside of that trend, we can get out on like a 6 cent loss. So nothing bad whatsoever. And with a potential target of around here of 48.07. Okay, so 6 cents to make approximately 12 or so at 2 to 1 if we're fortunate enough to get that. I think we're just putting ourselves in the right place at the right time as it's selling off a little bit here. What are you guys looking at? Snap moves? Yeah, let's take a look at some of your names. Put them in the chat. I have no issues going over those.
There's a move on Snap, yeah.
Is there a big time move on Snap?
Nothing crazy, but yeah, a bit of a spike happening on Snapchat.
Let's see if we got any news on that one on Snapchat. Okay, let's go Intel. Give us a little bit of a move there. Break through that support there, darling. Snapchat, MRVL, tops. Okay, no, that's not. Oh, did it pop right back up? Gonna clear this up and see what we got going on. Just keep our eyes on this INTC trade. If it breaks up, then we'll just get out of it. Looking for more of a quick breakdown. Maybe we should give some more room, but that's just not the narrative which I'm sitting on right now. Retail, rating, capital joins a push, overhaul on Snap. I'm not seeing anything right this second. We'll wait a couple more minutes. Joe, do you get any FOMO on these small caps making big moves? No. I mean, they happen all the time. I'll look at them and be like, oh, that would have been nice, but I'm not going to sit there and beat myself up about it. Flower Film, just like me, talking to the stock like it's your favorite athlete that you want to score. Yeah, man, come on, let's just do what we would like you to do. And sure enough, we can be friends. If not, then we're not real friends. It has to be a give relationship. It just can't be one-sided there, Obi. The Jays are starting at 12:30 here today. We have Gosman on the mound there, as you would know, Neil. A big W yesterday for the Toronto Blue Jays, 4-1 on the season, so not too bad of a look. If we can break 48-10, then we're in good. I went a little bit more. I put like a risk unit on this one just to see if we can get that breakdown, but it looks like we're getting bought up right now.
Yeah, no, it's just sideways chop. I'm not really seeing anything too crazy as of right now. Reciprocal is the word you're looking for? Okay, cool. Is it their first game asking Mike DeRuyter? Is it their first game today? Or
the Jays? No, it's like their 5th or 6th game today.
Oh, today?
Yeah. They started last Friday.
Okay, I see what you mean. I thought you meant, no, it's their 5th or 6th game today, as in like they've already played 6 games since the morning. I'm like,
No. Sometimes they'll play 2 games. They'll have a split game.
Okay, cool. That's interesting.
Baseball is the only sport where you can play 2 games in one day.
Really?
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's a little bit rough, no?
I mean, they don't really do too much, man, to be honest with you.
Neil just like, what'd you say?
Like, yeah, I don't know, man. You can't play 2 NFL games in one day. Everybody will be beat. Can't play 2 hockey games in one day. Just legs are too fatigued. But baseball.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you're a professional athlete, like you know, is that not exhausting? Like two elite games in a day.
Is this on?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So I find this one hilarious. So you're gonna tell me all sports have different mentalities. Like if you look at swimming, like Michael Phelps can win a bajillion medals. The reason Usain Bolt can't win 8 medals in one Olympics because swimming, there's no resistance. It's less resistance and less strain on the body in the water. So one guy can do like 7 different events. Usain Bolt could have been the best 400-meter runner in the world, but it's not physically possible to recover well enough to run the 1, 2, and the 4 and train for all of them. So there's some limitations. Every sport is going to be different. But I'll tell you this, if you don't think baseball is a sport, anytime you want, man, I haven't played baseball in years. I bet you I'd strike you out easy. And my arm's probably dead at 46 years old. It's easy, huh? It's easy.
I never said that it was easy. I said it was the only major sport where you can play 2 games in one.
How many rounds of golf can you play? Golf's a major sport.
Golf. Yeah, but still, you play 1 round of golf.
What are we talking about here?
Okay, what do you
mean?
What are we
talking about here?
Any professional golfer isn't going 2 rounds on like in the PGA Tour. You play it once over a span of how many days?
They could.
They probably could.
They physically could.
They probably could, but they don't.
Yeah, but in baseball, how many times does the doubleheader happen?
Very often. So we're going on what-if history here? No, we're not doing that, Neil.
Joe, doubleheaders are very rare. Exceedingly rare, and they get more and more rare. But that doesn't make a sport. This is a sport. Here's my take on the whole, like, this is a sport, that's not a sport, or this against. That's just pure haterism, man.
It's not hater. I'm a big Jays fan. Listen, I'm just saying. Maybe it was a little shot in the dark saying, like, hey, it's the only pro sport that you play 2 games, right? It was a jab, for sure. There goes Intel breaking through that trend line, by the way. It was a jab, 110%. I'm not going to deny that.
Oh, you know what's jokes? You can see my chart behind you. See, I'm looking at GEV right now. Can we come to my chart for a second? Oh, no. Shoot, you can't. I can't zoom because I'm holding the mic, so I can't actually adjust. There you go. Like, there are a lot of things which have run out of steam at these highs. Like, Givanova's looking pretty strong. Like, there's signs that we could be curling here. And USO's been in an uptrend for a while. So there's a few things that look like they're breaking trend. You already mentioned Intel. Tesla's one that's doing it. Like, I don't know if we've stopped in this market, but we've certainly crested a little bit here. And it'll be interesting, if USO just holds VWAP all day long, why wouldn't we have some kind of a pullback? It's a weird one. But yeah, back to the markets. I don't know if we're pressing through these highs at this moment. It does feel like a turnaround's coming in.
Yeah,
a bit of a curl here.
Someone said, Joe, each year you play a 100-hole golf tournament. Yeah, and that's great. Like, I can play multiple beer league games, but it's not we're not playing pro here. It's a beer league game. You're playing golf with your buddies. It's like, it's a little bit different. Aside from that, they play games during playoffs, double and triple over. Yeah, but that's when it goes to overtime, right? It's still classified as the same game. They're not shutting things down and starting a whole new game. Yeah, I mean, well, hey, man, it is what it is. INTC, listen, I'm a big-time Jays fan. I was going to the games as a kid. In high school, my buddies and I would drive down to the Rogers Centers and grab some scalps for like $20, and we just sit in the nosebleeds for a long time. And it's exciting to watch these guys. But yeah, it was a little jab at the old MLB players. I think the only guys who they probably, I don't know, Neil, this might frustrate you too, but I'm going to say it. I don't know, like Kyle Rowley and Vladdy, those guys aren't they're in baseball shape. Let me put it that way. You know what I mean? Baseball shape, a little different compared to NFL shape. and NHL shape. It's a little different. That's all I'm gonna say. The sluggers. All right. So, all right, guys. INTC not getting that. We're on the backside of this trend, so we have to be prepared to get out of this one there. Yeah, I thought we would get a little bit more of a breakdown in this, but that doesn't seem to be the case there, Obi. I'll continuously keep my eye on it, but we're not going to take too big of a loss on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of just observing so I got stopped out of that micron. It came into the 70s there, 106.70, so I did have a stop in and around there. Getting stopped out. I was like, yeah, very likely I'm going to get stopped out of this one here. So wasn't too far away from my stop. Just let it kind of chill and let it stop me out there. But yeah, Micron, have eyes on this one now. Full focus. Wow, okay, nice. Stop me out and then swipe right back down. GG's, thank you. MRVL, as that comes in. You know what, maybe I should get right back in, but we'll wait and see what this one does. If you're going to be sideways chop around on top of VWAP, I probably shouldn't be involved anyways, so who cares? Where is the next trade? That's what I'm asking right now, and I don't really see too much. Nothing too crazy as of right now, but we'll take a look at some of these other stocks that I was watching and see if there's anything. Oh, wow, so tired.
Coffee, man.
Yeah, man, you gotta have a good night's sleep if you want to be making good decisions at the same time. So yeah, I'm definitely not on that level as of right now. So that's why I've been keeping it, a little low key. Nothing too crazy. Nike, let's take a look at what Nike's up to, and then we'll look at that CYCN as well. I know a lot of people are involved with that one on the day today. So a bit of a hold on top of 45.11s on Nike, but yeah, relatively weak, man. You got to see where this thing is coming in from. Let's look at the weekly chart here, and we'll get an idea of where this thing is coming in from. You can see what a beautiful V-shaped recovery on this one. So strong push all the way from 2018 to 2021, and then the backside from 2021 to now 2026. So bigger picture, absolutely beautiful stuff here on Nike as it pulls right back in. And you can see over the past few months, even last year, look at the volume bars on the weekly. A lot of strong sell volume in 2025, maybe the end of 2024 as well. What is this one right here? That's definitely some sort of earnings. So that was in June, July. So June 2024 on their earnings report, some aggressive selling there. So yeah, decent reasons throughout the past few years, not just a couple of years, to be looking short on this one, bigger picture on Nike. So more of the same today, coming in with their earnings report getting absolutely rocked to the downside. So this might be a multi-day mover there, Joe. I'm gonna have eyes on this tomorrow, and maybe going into the end of the week or going into the beginning of next week. Friday's off, keep forgetting, but yeah, going into next week as well, as this continues to just stair step lower and lower on Nike. Let's see what, MU is coming back. Yeah, I'm watching that, man. MU is coming back right there towards its highs. So maybe this wasn't it. You can see the market as well pulling right back in. Slow, steady, grinding buyers here on both the ES and the NASDAQ. And I did mention before, I wouldn't be surprised if we just have the steady grind up, just like how we did yesterday. Taking a look at the SPY here, yesterday going into the end of the day, just slow, steady grind, buying coming in here. So yeah, aggressive bid there on, what was the news again? That Iran for the first time said that, I think.
They're looking to conclude the conflict.
Yeah, they're open to conclusion of the conflict.
I mean, Donald Trump's already stated that they're just going to leave, regardless if a deal is made. But they think that a deal can happen in the coming weeks. But the United States is going to exit the Middle East once again. We're going to take another stab here on this INTC trade. Let's see if we can get this one to work for us. We got 10 cents off the first one. We broke down, and I see a nice indecision print. I'm going to hold it to whatever in at 26s. If it starts to head back up with momentum towards the top end of that wick, then we'll just get out of dodge on that one. Same size or anything and everything along those lines. So we'll be patient to see if we can get this one to work out for us. 10 cents, then we were rocking and rolling. We'll take a little bit off and then wait for the next opportunity or our next trade to display themselves. The short has definitely been a much more difficult direction there, and we want to try to make life a little bit easier. So with that being said, it's just like, hey, we're going to take a sip of water. This works out. It doesn't, then we sit on our hands for a little bit longer and then wait for that exactly for that latter half of the session. So
Yeah.
good stuff there, Obi. This is what I'm going short off here, essentially, is this inverted on the backside of this trend. It's kind of in no man's land, but I like the chance of us getting a continuation. I mean, it's like, hey, we play this break, we hold the trend, and we get that move, but then a signal is just that you failed to break through this low of $48, and then you punch on the other side, and as soon as you have that 1 minute candle opening on the backside of that trend, it's just like get out of dodge essentially on that one. And we were fortunate enough to, before it squeezed higher, I'm like, yeah, let's just get out and then look for another entry. So we have approximately a 7 cent better entry than what we had before. So hopefully we don't want to have death by 1,000 paper cuts either. So we're going to be patient. If this works out, the Tesla trade wasn't too bad earlier, but now that's starting to rebound. A quiet market, just steady up and to the right, and there it goes. It looks like we're going to pop there, guys. So let's just get out of there. No continuation on the breakdown here on INTC, and we don't want to make things any more difficult than kind of what they are right now.
Yeah, we're continuing to make some fresh highs there. So Micron just stepping right back up into its high a day. So yeah, sometimes when you're taking reversions, it's easy to be on the front side, or it's more often than not I find myself trying a couple times before it actually works, and that's part of trading reversions. I find not always are you going to get that first turn and be like, all right, this is it, this is the one, but you got to be willing to re-engage when it comes back in. That's the key part there. So yeah, Micron coming right back into its highs there. The highs being 377.20s, currently trading at 376.40s on Micron. But yeah, Iron Commodity King saying Iron. Let's see. I haven't traded this name in quite a while. There was a time where this was doing decent amount of volume. Take a look at that. Wow, Monday, absolute wreckage here, as we pulled all the way down to, I guess, 30.76s, excuse me. But we've caught a bit of a bid here, trading a little bit higher at the same time. So 34.80s right now on Iron. So yeah, a decent look there on Monday. I guess yesterday was a time to kind of get involved for a potential reversion. Today, nothing too crazy, just a sideways chop on this name. As of right now, TQs for 45 half gap to close, saying Paco. Let's take a quick look at TQs here. 45 half gap to close. Which gap are you talking about on the TQs here? So maybe you mean on the daily? When people usually talk about gaps, they talk about dailies. So 45 halves, what are you talking about here? 45, there is no, what gap are you, I have no idea what gap you're talking about. If you're talking about this, that's a little different. When if it's pulling back up into this kind of low here, these lows here that we did break down below, 45.75s-ish, maybe 45 halves. Yeah, you think that's, if you're saying that's the gap, then yeah, sure. That's not a gap in my book of definitions, but pulling back into an area that was, I guess, support for a while. Let's see if it turns into resistance. There goes Snap saying Taylor Abdi. Okay, Snap. There goes Snap. All right, let's see what Snap is doing here. Snap, crackle, pop. It is popping to the upside. Yeah, so I guess we had that push there at around 12:30, 12:33. But I couldn't really find any news on this one. So maybe just a technical push, maybe just buying, maybe with the market as well. So yeah, Snapchat doing decent, holding trend as well. But this is the thing. Today you can get long a lot of things, and it's working, right? It's absolutely working. So today is definitely one of those days to get with the trend. And I think somebody in the chat who was it? I replied to them as well. They mentioned earlier, I'll pull it up right here. They were basically like, yeah, you know, people were calling out the bid to be fake, and they were basically like, fake bid or not, still decent gains and losses. Just trade the chart, not the news. Absolutely correct. So yeah, today the charts are showing us that, yeah, buyers are very, very dominant, and they were yesterday as well, because we're talking about maybe a potential sentiment change with Iran coming out and being like, okay, you know, maybe we are willing to cool things down with some exceptions, and that's the first time they kind of said that, and we've been catching a bid since then. Right, USO. Let's see what USO is up to. Maybe does USO believe the news? I don't know. That's the question that I'm asking as well. USO is just sideways chop consolidation, almost as if it's waiting for something here on USO. So I think we gotta wait and see what President Trump says later on tonight at 9 p.m. to see if it'll have any sort of an effect on these here stocks, on oil or on the markets as well.
Silver.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Silver new high of the day.
Yeah, silver was pushing up yesterday as well, I think, right?
Silver new high of the
Both
day.
silver and gold doing decent as well.
Interesting. Great short setup for ARM. No, I'm done on the short side. It's time to wait for a pullback if there is any, and going with the flow. I mean, this TSLA trade was pretty good, but then INTC was just like, all right, okay, we try something, get a little bit of a move, take the stop out, try it again, and just a couple engulfing prints. So, I mean, the market is climbing higher, silver is climbing higher, and that's what I want to try to do is just, if there's any form of a micro, then let's get involved. Like, I'm even thinking going long here on Tesla, just in case it wants to put in an additional leg. MU back to 375.52. OB short that one, so not bad. Let's see if you get that aggressive move lower. But it's just like everything, boom, 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 getting bought back. Someone was mentioning IREN as well. We can take a look at this on the 5-minute time frame. I was trading this yesterday. It was a little bit more choppy, to be honest with you.
Out here, man. We're doing a live move to Canada. This place is crazy. Miss everybody over there, though. Nobody's allowed to trade small caps when I'm gone. Check this out, Joey.
Wow, look at that. Absolutely beautiful blue skies.
There he is. Yeah.
Pretty good.
There you go.
Having a great time. See everybody.
All right. Yeah, there you go. There's Sharif, man. He's living it up. I've been to that beach. I was body surfing at that beach there.
Really?
Mike Peter Ratter. Yeah, I've been to the resort that he was at for a bachelor party. It was pretty fun. But yeah, he's living life up. Nice sunny weather over there. Yeah, Kahlua will tell him you said what up for sure. So yeah, there it is. Sharif living his best life over there in Punta, Canada. Yeah,
Punta Canada.
Just there surfing for sure. I was thinking, man, I'm like, all right, man. Yeah, trade sniper, that's a great question. But yeah, other than that, guys, let's see if we can find somewhat of a long here on today's session.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah, there he is, man. He's on the beach again. At the beach again. So, yeah, let's find a long here. IREN slowly starting to curl back up, so not too bad of a look there whatsoever. I'm not going to tell you exactly where he is, but he's in Punta Cana. So yeah, he's having a good time. Nike, yeah, it got that pullback though, Obi, off of that 45.10 level, bounces off of it, and then now starting to do
a bit of a stair step.
Yeah, do his thing. So I mean, the guy is, yeah, he has his like and subscribe thing, and then sure enough, he's on the beach and stuff. I should message him and tell him to just do it live over there, and do his thing. So QBTS, we can go through the quantum space. A nice little indecision print at the lows. Maybe we like this here, Gorev. You see this 5-minute print on QBTS? Maybe if this holds up, we can find an entry point here and get involved. Ooh, it's on the 1-minute as well, but look at this volume step into the downside. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. I'm sure it's going to be more of a slow grind. Silver really starting to move now up to 68.75. That's good. IREN starting to climb as well. And Tesla still holding up around some of those consolidation lows.
Yeah, a bit of a pullback here on USO. So I'm watching this one as well. Sellers stepping in the pre-market just below this 126, which was, yesterday we held those 124s, 125s, 126s pretty well on that flush. Today, gap down, trading a little bit lower here, and maybe holding prior day support as a bit of resistance. You can see pre-market levels, once again, 125 halves, 125 60s, a little bit of supply coming in, pulling back into 124 40s here. Yeah, so just watching this USO. I don't really see anything much going on right now there, Joe, but I think we do have a guest, and he's going to be talking about small caps. And I know there's a lot of things going on in the small cap world today with the CYCN and a few other names as well. I think, what was that, UGPU or something? AGPU as well. Yeah. So let's bring on Mr. Luis Barbados and see what he has been trading. How's it going?
Hello, guys. How are you?
We're good.
How are you?
Luis. We're good. How are you?
Everything's good here. Also heading to holidays since tomorrow is off in Spain, so I already took the afternoon off.
Oh,
nice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Luis, so as we typically start things off, Sharif is on vacation, so he's on holidays himself. We're going to get right into the nitty-gritty here and talk about a name, CYCN. Was this on your radar here this morning? It climbed 400% throughout the intraday session. Was this a name that you were looking at today?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if Sharif would have been here, he would have made some very nice trades because the stock had everything to go long. And let's go very clear and transparent here. I took a loss on this one, guys. And even though, as I said, had everything to go long. First of all, a merger news, which is not like not light news. It's very important news. Some merger rumors about this company. So that's the first thing. Second thing, we have historical volume. It is the highest volume probably in the history of the stock. And that gives you a lot of confidence to go long as well. And third, look at this. I'm going to show you this on our radar. Okay, we go here. You see gap 250% when it opened the market. And when you check the data, look at this. It's only 20% red close probability. So from the 5 gap up, only one was red close. When we know around 70% of the gapping up on the small caps are closing red, this one is only 20%. So if you put all these together, very important news, historical highest volume of the company, and 20% only red close probability, it is a known short stock. Even though that I went short. Don't ask me why. Sometimes we make mistakes. No matter how expertise you are and how long are you trading, you make a mistake. I went short here on this 6 consolidation. I stopped out there, and I was short again after the halt. I thought it was already a fail, halt up and fail down. I added more into the way down, and I stopped out on the high of the day. So it didn't work out. All my fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of been the narrative for me today, Luis. What I've been noticing in today's grinding market in some of the larger cap names, whether it be in NVDA, the TQQQs in a steady channel to the top side, is there at some point where you look at the stock regardless of the float or the previous sentiment of the name that you go, hey, this name is too strong, I'm not going to look for the short on it today, and then you just throw that to the side and look for another potential ticker?
Yeah, as I said, you go through several check marks, like if it has more volume or news or important previous resistance from the last year or something like that. And if you are trading above all that, you just don't go short. And usually, as we always speak, it's not about the overall sentiment of the market because we are trading in small caps. And even though if the market would be very weak, like last week or beginning of this week, this stock, for example, CYCN, it would have gone up no matter how the market feels. So it's more about the stock on itself.
Yeah, nice, good stuff there. I have a question for you. You said you tried it short 3 times there, and then my question is, why did you stop shorting it after that point? Is it because you have like a 3-strike rule, or any sort of set of rules because of that? Because I can see that, yeah, if you had tried it maybe one more time, that's when the short did look like it started to come in here as well. So, question for you: why? Is there a reason? Is there a set of rules why you stopped at the point that you did?
Well, it's a good point. I will tell you, most of the short bias traders have like a couple of tries or 3 tries. And if you are wrong 2 or 3 times, it might mean that this stock, it's better to stop wasting your money.
Right.
Also, we are trading in real trading, prop firm, and we have a daily loss. So I respect always this daily loss. If I hit my daily loss, I call a day, take off for holidays, and that's it. That was the case today. I took my daily loss, and I'm not gonna go farther than that.
That's fair. Yeah, no, definitely. Here at Real Trading, we definitely have to respect that daily loss. So this is the only stock that you traded today?
No, we also traded RENX.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It was a little bit easier on the short side. After this first push, because you see pre-market, there was a lot of activity, and even though the volume dropped, the price didn't fall. So this is a very good sign for the long bias traders. The price is holding around VWAP, but the volume disappeared completely. So right out the gate, it broke pre-market highs. You got a very nice push, but after this consolidation and the fail of highs, you can short this one with a very tight stop, and it's all the way down. Probably will fall again below VWAP and continuation. And the other one was ACPU, similar, a little bit stronger, but now we have a downtrend canal, and we are trading below VWAP. So we are waiting, we are hoping this holds below VWAP and all the way down to $2 during the afternoon.
Nice. So you were mentioning some of the factors that made the difference between that RENX, AGPU, and the CYCN. CYCN, you mentioned that, you know, highest all-time volume, merger news, and a 20% chance of it closing red versus these other ones. Do these other two fall under that 70% closing red on day one?
Let me check. I don't remember right now, but we can check in our data. Hold on. I will have to look here. ACPU. Oh, let me check if I find it. It's a long time ago, this one. There you go. ACPU. We don't have any gap from 2020. So there is no backtest data on this one. And the other one, RENX. Let me see if we have it here. Here. Look at this. This is 2 gaps, 100%. So look, only 2 gaps. That's true. It's not maybe a lot of data, but both of them close red. Look, this is 100% gap that day on 11th of February. Yes, 100% up. Fade 26% from the open. So it's a very big movement down. And this one was 37% on 9th of January. Close 17% down. So you can go directly to that day, and you will see the chart that you see. We have a gap up, and from the opening all the way down to 20 cents. In this case, was from 35 cents to 20 cents. It's only 15 cents, but look, it's almost 50% drop. So.
Oh yeah, no, definitely having those stats on your side helps a lot with some of that decision making. Thank you for that.
Absolutely, yeah. So a couple more questions here, Luis. Yep. So we've seen that CYCN had that 400% move today. Last week we were talking about a different name where I can't remember the ticker, where it goes from $14 to $55, and then sure enough it continuously squeezed. Are you looking for somewhat of a pullback in this name, considering we've already experienced it in multiple names? At some point, do you think that this gap up, this massive gap up, will get filled? And are you going to continue to monitor it for the weeks to come, or by the end of the week, or whenever it may start to sell off aggressively?
That's a very good question, because sometimes the short bias traders, we forget about checking the next day. So sometimes when the stock is in play with a lot of volume,
like
a
the
lot of
Grow
momentum,
Pro-
is not the best
Grow
moment to
Pro.
go short. Sometimes next day or 3 days after, when nobody is looking this stock, is the good setup for what we call the first red day. So let's see if this holds today and close around here. Let's see how it opens tomorrow, and we might have a much better risk reward with a very good winning rate on this stock for tomorrow or maybe even Monday, you know. So sometimes when the volume shift to other tickers, the stock lose volume and lose price right away. So tomorrow we might have a very nice short setup on this one.
Absolutely, and yes, UGRO was the ticker. Thank you very much, Ryan O'Day. And it was a couple of days after you have that engulfing move, that massive gap up, and that crazy price appreciation, that the third day after, when there's not as many eyes on it, where it essentially starts to break down, and then you get that move from $28 all the way down to $15. Fantastic stuff. Before we conclude things here, Luis, you must tell us, how is the weather over there in Barcelona?
It's pretty okay. I mean, it's not summer yet, but it's okay. It's around 18, 20 degrees and sunny outside.
That's acceptable. Great stuff. We'll be looking forward to having some more conversations with you next week. Enjoy the holidays, and I hope you have a fantastic one.
Take care.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Some great information. That scanner is absolutely solid.
Yeah. Check that out, man. He dropped
historical.
the link. He's usually in there. Luis will drop that. Maybe if he's listening still, he'll put that link in the chat for us one more time. Sharif has been using it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So,
cool. No, I definitely want to take a look at that.
Which is what you want.
For sure. Yeah. When you're especially when you're trading, small caps, having those stats on your side is a big plus. And like some of those things, what he said, RENX 100% chance so far. Again, N equals 2 on that one. But since 2020, every time it's done what it's doing today, it's closed red on the day. So if you have that piece of information, then you just have to look for good spots to get in and hold the line there. So I'll keep an eye out on RENX there. You can see already it's retraced a decent chunk of its move on the day, consolidating at that VWAP here, 347 highs. So we'll wait and see how this one ends up, maybe continuing that stat there as at the same time. But yeah, no, small caps, definitely a lot of edge there on small caps.
Yeah, we've had that discussion before. I mean, Sharif, like it'll be where you don't typically see those big breakouts in like the names that we were to trade.
There's a lot of edge on the shorts.
Because he has stats. I think he said something along the lines of 70% of them end up pulling back. Yeah. So I mean, there it is. It doesn't mean you're going to be right all the time. And the squeeze, when it squeezes, you're aggressive, and you're typically putting in
because there's so many players getting short.
Exactly, right? And you're typically going substantially more shares just due to the value of the stocks, the stock itself. And then if you have a name like UGRO that goes from $14 to $55, it can be absolutely detrimental to the account.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember
if you're bag
last
holding,
time,
that is, right?
Last time he was on, he was also talking about how you gotta wait for it to move like 3 to 400%, and you can see that CYCN did about 400% today off of the open there. So I don't know if that definitely played a part. I looked up earlier. Remember, I looked up whether or not they have a shelf offering or not. They do have an offering in the pipeline, so they could also offer, but maybe not the best idea to offer on day one of merger news. That would be kind of a little slimy, but with these small caps, you can never tell. But they do have one in the pipeline, so maybe not day one, but maybe day 2, day 3. We could be seeing something, as Luis pointed out there. So CYCN tomorrow, we should be watching that.
CYCN tomorrow, or the next day. Maybe you get a little bit of a pop and a fade, but tomorrow's the last trading day of the week. Yes. So no Friday, you'd have to wait until Monday. Yep. There goes Tesla, though. It looks like it wants to break down this amazing tool. Next day, we'll show you our dilution tracker. Thank you, Luis. Yeah, that'd be absolutely fantastic. A lot of people in the chat are looking for that tool, so we'll be sure to get that from you. What you just displayed us not too long ago. I know Sharif has been using it, and a lot of people interested in what you have going on with the small caps. Mike Peter Ryder, Ryan O'Day in the chat as well, too. So thank you very much for that. I mean, do we take another attempt here on the short side? There was a good opportunity to get involved one more time here, Obi, as we failed to make a new high. Now we're getting to that hour of the day. It's like, okay, things might start to cool off a little bit, but you still have to be a little bit cautious. Yeah, we will, Slinger. I promise you we'll get that. We'll get that from Luis, and then we'll definitely move that on to you guys. I think we're at the time of the day where maybe, I don't know if it's necessarily sellers stepping in or buyers just taking their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, I can't really. I mean, it's just showing us the higher highs, higher lows. So buyers are still very much in charge as of right now, especially when it comes to these futures. I was talking about looking at Google and watching Google. Man, I've been watching Google all day. There's no relief. The only kind of 2 points of relief that it did have was around 9:30 and 10:30. We got pullbacks down into VWAP, but then even then, continuous slow and steady grinding here on Google, pushing past 300. 352 is the high. 352 pennies is the current day high on the Google. Yeah, no, relative strength. It was the Mag 7 with the most relative strength this morning, and it continues to be just that. Meta as well. Look at this one. I was like, Google and Meta, those are the ones that were showing relative strength this morning right off of the open. Sure, Meta kind of settled down, but take a look at this. Breakout of that opening session high right there. Doesn't really look back too much. Stair step, stair step, stair step, push all the way up to 592. So great push on this one. Again, with the market tailwind, VWAP reclaim, holding above prior structure, stair-stepping, higher highs, higher lows. And this is kind of, when I see this action, I'm like, if I'm long, this is almost a perfect kind of pattern to start pyramiding into and really getting aggressive on the break of that opening range high. And that's been working out quite well here on Meta at the same time. Let's take a look at our friend Amazon. I haven't traded this thing in the longest time. But, when it comes into play, it comes into play, and I'm more than willing to get involved with this one. But Amazon, nothing too crazy today. Sure, we have slowed down a little bit here on Amazon. Apple, we were looking at earlier. I was like, it's doing absolutely nothing, just chopping in around VWAP, holding underneath VWAP, but we finally get a bit of a push and a hold above VWAP going into the latter half of the day. But yeah, let me know what things you guys are trading. Oracle saying S14, Johnny. Let's see what our, wow, look at that. Distinctly different here on Oracle. The rest of the market is bidding up. Oracle today flush, sideways consolidation near the lows all day long, holding 146s as some support. So we did get that strength yesterday, but today, distinctly different. I don't know if there was news on this thing, but you can see relative volume in the pre-market 2 to 3 times relative volume, and then flushing right off of the open. So yeah, I guess Oracle doesn't want to be part of the party where that wants that's bidding up at the same time. So yeah, good look there on Oracle. What else are you guys looking at? TEM. What is that one again? Tempest AI. Isn't this the one that what's her face is in?
Kathy?
Not Kathy. Oh my God, I'm forgetting her name. The woman in the government.
Oh, the one
best trader of all time.
The best trader, yeah, Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. Thank you very much. The woman in the government. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the best trader of our time, Nancy Pelosi, right? I think she was in this stock here, Tempest AI. Let's see what that one's been doing over the course of the past couple of years. I guess, yeah, no, not that well. But I don't know if she got out. Last I heard probably was sometime last year that she was involved in this. Next thing, she's been in office since JFK. Damn, that's talk about a tenure. That is absolutely wild. But okay, let's get back to these markets. But TEM, good look there. Bigger picture, it's just kind of sideways chop here on the weekly. Today, what is it doing? Sure, it has a little bit of relative volume. Let's check. 2 times coming in off of the open with a decent hold, I guess, a VWAP, I'm going to say. Yeah, VWAP right there. VWAP hold on TEM. Another one that bid up pretty aggressively yesterday. Gap up continuation happening on the day today. Micron. Come on, man. What are you doing? Micron stopped me out. I got stopped out of Micron. You can see here, boom, and then pulls right back in. So, you know what? Let's get a little technical with this one. I'm going to go down to a shorter time frame, maybe throw on a moving average so we can measure. So, got in on the prior bar break, right? Prior bar 15-minute break. That wasn't necessarily, it's not always going to work well. And that's fine. So we can try to figure out, okay, well, if that's not gonna work, then let's see EMA. Let's go to a moving average. Okay, cool. We don't need VWAP. Go to EMA, and then boom, right here. So yeah, it's been holding on the 3-minute. We'll go to a 5-minute as well. It's holding pretty well at the same time here. And then 15-minute were the bars that I was watching for the prior bar break, and that kind of failed as of right now, pushing back through higher days. So you can see on a few different frames, 5-minute, 3-minute, still holding the 9 EMA, so still within that uptrend as of right now. So market doing very much similarly. So when you go to the TQs, you can see, look at this beautiful hold of the moving average all day long. Any sort of wicks below the 9 EMA today on the 5-minute on the TQs have been aggressively bought up every single time, except for maybe off of the open. But when we did start to catch a bid, you can see multiple attempts at trading below that 9 EMA have been bought right back up pretty aggressively. Hammer candles showing up every single time. The past 2 times it's tried to do that after 11 o'clock. Let's check the SPY as well. See how that's doing. Yeah, similar story here. You can see no real, I guess here we get a bit of double bar close below the 9 EMA, but then reclaims right away. So buyers very, very much in charge. Bit of a melt up today. And then we were getting a melt up yesterday as well, pretty aggressively going into the close. So the question becomes, okay, is the buying here? Is everyone just bidding because, the rumors or maybe the sentiment has changed that the Strait of Hormuz may be, poised for some less conflict going forward. But we'll have to wait and see until 9 p.m. today when
what's going on
Trump
with there.
talks.
We're short some TQs here, Obi. If it puts in a new high of the day, then we'll just get out. It looked like it was breaking down. You got a couple of cents right out of the gate, and then now it's just getting bought right back up as Tesla's moving higher. Silver sold off and then just absolutely ripped City back up to 68.77. So let's see if we're fortunate enough to get this move. I mean, only 5 cents worth of risk. I have to take this trade, essentially. And if it decides to put in a new HOD, then we just get out of Dodge. It's unfortunate that these pullbacks has just been a grinding session, which leading to tomorrow, it's going to be exciting to see. We're going to be patient and wait for that to come into play, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit of a bearish one considering the past couple of sessions. But anything can happen, right? It could be total opposite, and you have just 3 days continuous up to the top side. So we'll pull up the TQQQs over here and see how the previous couple of sessions have been looking. Nice, strong recovery. This is a nice breath. Is this selling completely over? I don't necessarily think so. This is a solid bounce. But who knows, right? Anything can happen. We want to take our trend lines into consideration. A nice bounce off of that, a V-shaped reversal, heading into some resistance zones right here. And it looks like that we want to breach them at this point. That next level will be 45.35. That's something that we can take into consideration. And if we break through that, then where's that next zone? 46.38. But one step at a time, right? We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but this is a nice recovery rally. And if positive news comes out of the Middle East, then sure enough, whatever was priced in, the market would be more than happy to have a couple of solid trading sessions, considering if we go through the Mag 7, which we'll do right now, and see, we haven't even gone through the options chain today, really. But if we look at these names from a daily, right? Like you have NVDA that's down probably 18% now at this point, right? 16. So 17% on NVDA. You have Apple up there, so now probably up to 13, down 13%. 12% there, relatively close, right? And then we have Microsoft that was down 33% at its lows, now respectively down 32%, right? So a lot of these names can find some room to recover, and if they do, that's going to just help drag the market a little bit higher. You have Amazon down 18% as well, too. So the big names, with the exception of one, really, the majority of them have fell into bear market territory. Here's Google. What a monstrous recovery. Back-to-back days, back-to-back jacks, OB, as we would typically like to say. 21% off of the highs, touching into that bear market territory. Tesla, same thing, down 30+%, right? Like, here it is, down 29% from peak to trough. So it's been a tough look across the board, and the exact same thing with Meta. And if these big boys aren't participating, then it makes it a little bit more difficult for the market. But considering so, the NASDAQ and the SPY only down a couple percentage points. I think it's like 10% on the SPY from the highs to that previous pivot low, 950, 9.5% there. It's like, hey, the overall market held up pretty well, right? And I was looking for signs of strength the other day, Obi. Do you know any strong sectors? I'm throwing this to you. I'm putting you on the spot. What do you think as of late was one of the strongest performing sectors, or groups, I guess I should say, that outside of tech? That is, maybe it's still a little bit tech, but.
Let's see. I think right away I want to look at XLE. Energy sector has been performing extremely well. Sure, this week we've got a little bit of a pullback, but you can see here this chart reminds me a little bit of USO, where you had that multi-month consolidation and then a breakout continuation there above, what is this, 46.75. So that started coming in at the beginning of the year, January. So you can see all year long pretty decent performance from the energy sector. But yeah, when you say what's the strongest, this one kind of pops up right away. But we can take a look at some of the other XLs.
Telecom was another strong subsector as well, too.
Communications, communications. I mean, not as strong as XLE, but kind of sideways chop here. Let's go XLV. Let's see the healthcare sector. Nothing happening there. We can check industrials with XLI, maybe coming in, I guess, March, the prior month, kind of a bit of a pullback here. But yeah, nothing as aggressive as XLE I'm seeing as of right now. But yeah, XLK, that's tech. Right here, you can see sideways chop, maybe a little bit of a curl as well on the tech sector. I know there's other ones as well. There's XLB, which is materials. Nothing too crazy here as well. XLE, I'd say.
XLE is a great answer.
Energies is the, I guess, one of the themes of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. So. I mean, as of late, it's definitely one. We have, I believe, our boy Randy is in, as for his picks on the year, in XOM.
Yep.
Nice little breakdown there into 89s. Let's see if we can get any form of continuation. NVDA slowly starting to slide. That's going to be a positive for us. We need this guy to break down in order for us to get any form of a sustained move. There it is. Bang. Yeah, let's go. Nice little pop. I got to be prepared to take some off as it's just immediately bought back up. Keep your eyes on the tape. As soon as you see those clean flushes, it's like, okay, rebound, and you have buyers step right back in. And that's a strong move. So you get that sense, immediately pop back up, Obi. Oh, my Lanta. Makes it significantly more difficult, but some clean flushes, buyers stepping right back in. If it puts in a new high of the day, we should have took some off at 88. Half of it, and then if it got stopped out, break even. But it's definitely a strong market. No breakdown in NVDA just yet. Let's head over to the 5-minute time frame and see what we got going on. Oh, that was a clean flush. I think, oh, okay, all right, we take that. Nice, Obi. Clean squeeze. I'm like, hey, I seen this in the corner of my eye. I'm like, whoa, that looks crazy. But usually I get these weird wicks up and down, and then sure enough, we got that breakdown.
Right back in?
Yeah, that dropped right back in. Yeah, I mean, that was a clean flush. Look at this on the tape here, guys. Boom. Look at all those orders at 91, but then pop right back up. Oh, my days.
The thing with TQs, it just when it chops around like that, all it takes is like one trader being like, all right, I'm going to punch into the bid or punch into the ask, and you get that crazy action. The market, as efficient as it is, it'll just correct it pretty much right away as well.
Immediately Right away. Yeah, I want to see what Apple's up to. I don't want to give myself analysis paralysis either, by just like looking to see what Apple and everything is up to. If they're climbing higher, then the short isn't going to work on Google. Like Google's still hovering around those highs. If it gets any form of a breakdown, then we'll be okay. So I just want to keep my eyes up on the larger participants. Nice rebound in Amazon, but it's mainly NVDA, Apple, and Google who I want to keep my eyes on right now to see what they're going to be doing for the next little bit. And see, it pops right back up. All right. Son of Danny Boy, Cheese Tycoon. What's going on? Good afternoon, cheese lovers. Tell me your thoughts on this swing trade thesis. Trump will probably be talking about leaving NATO tonight, so I'm going long RNM, BY, UAF, and other Euro defense names.
Ooh.
I mean, that's a good. That's probably a good play.
Some of the Euro defense names were doing extremely well today, so they're already up. So I think some of that buying sentiment is already coming in. I was looking at some of those Euro stocks earlier today, and yeah, defense names were definitely something to be watching on the day today. So good stuff there. Let's see. Gav Ross in the chat was asking, Obi, will you be getting involved on the SpaceX IPO?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be another instance of a great pump and dump. But yeah, we'll see how oversubscribed it is. I expect it to be oversubscribed, but we'll wait and see if it'll actually be oversubscribed to you know, significantly. Like we saw some decent IPOs last year, early to mid last year, I think, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I'll definitely be bringing out that that IPO playbook for SpaceX. Again, they're doing a ridiculous evaluation.
Are you just going to do market on open on that one? Or limit on open?
Probably not. I'm going to trade it. You know, that I feel like that's a little bit. If it sets up for. You know, if it's oversubscribed, if it's tapping higher, if it has a lot of volume, you know, and there's a lot of hype around it, then yeah, maybe I'll take some on that. But I want to play the price action after it opens up.
So you're really going to be focusing
not really gamble on it that much,
right?
But yeah, exactly. So yeah, sometimes taking the opening print can definitely be a little bit of a gamble, especially when there's not a lot of confluencing factors showing you that okay, you know, there's actual significant demand for something, and we saw some of that happen going into the later half of the year.
If
right?
the top keeps ripping?
Yeah. Like, for example, if they're priced at, like, I don't know, just arbitrarily, if they're priced to come out at, like, $25 and it opens up at, like, $35, $40, and it just maybe it halts up or it pushes higher or, like, you know, the buyers step in or levels get defended, there's going to be a lot of strong underwriters on it as well. So that's going to be a big factor for me at the same time. So, yeah, there's a lot of different ways I potentially want to approach it. But yeah, we got some news happening, or what? Here we go with a bit of a pullback right now. Hello.
Are you kidding me?
Good job being in that short.
Yeah, I was in that short, but then I took it all off right there and then added some.
Boy.
But that's all right. We still walk away.
All good.
Yeah, we got that short, man. It worked.
Nice.
Yeah, too quick on that one. Yeah, TQ short from 43.92 all the way down. Market definitely did take a little bit of a slide there as Google was heading lower. I think at this point the momentum picked up a little bit, guys, and we can see on the lower time frames that it really volume started to increase there. So not too bad of a look there whatsoever. But yeah, that was a nice little short from 43.92s down into that $77 mark. It might continue here, but just be prepared. We did slowly get that curl over. Silver looks like it might break down a little bit more. Same with Tesla. Tesla heading towards another key support level, breaking down a bit south of the volume-weighted average price, and then you're finally starting to get the momentum to pick up in NVDA. But I don't think the volume is substantial enough, essentially, in order for us to say like there's something or any form of a news event. You'll see that massive volatility. That was just a clean flush to the downside that gave you 20 cents right out the gate. We take that for a small win and then look for another opportunity. See, look at it bounce right back up. So yeah, that's not too bad whatsoever. I mean, there it is. I'm glad that we got out of that one. I would have liked to hold a little bit more for this pullback in the curl over, but this could just give us another opportunity to engage. Look at IREN here, OB. This thing's been really choppy. I just don't think this is a very good, clean, orderly intraday trader, in my opinion. A lot of chop yesterday, the channel trading. Breaks up through VWAP, double tops right here at that $35 mark, and then now you're right back at the lower end of the range. I just would have too much trouble selling that lower end for sure. A lot of signals here on silver as well, but just a nice steady grinding bid, which I think makes things a little bit more difficult to short there on silver. We were fortunate. That was a nice clean flush, man. So we're happy to get that one there and lock that one in a little bit, Obi.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I'm closely watching that swipe. Again, I'm not really seeing any sort of news that could give us a reason to make that move. So maybe, yeah, sellers maybe stepping off the gas here, as you mentioned earlier there. So yeah, no, not really. Okay, there we go. I think important letter. I think Ramin posted something there. Iranian official Mehdi announced that president will release an important letter to the American people within hours. Okay, cool, interesting stuff.
I think it's Microsoft here that's really dragging the market down. Man, a nice long there. It did curl over, and it's now a little bit south of the volume weighted average price there. So curl over. Trend line broke, initially weak out of the gate, and then sure enough, as it slides lower, probably justifying essentially why we had that strong downtick in the NASDAQ.
Yep. Oh, there's a strong. So I did get involved in this Micron once again. On that, well, just a little bit before that flush, I was just like, all right, cool. Are we going to hold below? We were looking at some of those moving averages here. So yeah, it started to hold below, so I was like, all right, maybe worth a try here, but swipe right back up. So yeah, going against the trend a little bit there on that Micron. MRVL still continues to go higher. Google is the one. I mentioned it before as well. Relative strength like crazy when it comes to any of the Mag 7 names today. So let's take a quick look at that one here. Yeah, no sign of a strong pullback just yet. Still holding well above VWAP, well above some of these prices. 300, it's trading in and around 300. So it's like, all right, cool. Is this a prior level at all? And I think, yeah, exactly. So last week we got on Tuesday a strong flush through that 300 on Google, which gave us a multi-day downtrend. So all of last week sold off pretty aggressively from 300 on Tuesday all the way down to a low of 272s. So decent reversion on the way back up here. Past Tuesday and today, Wednesday, we've recovered a decent chunk. Just to move the range from yesterday to today, Google is up about almost 8.5%. So decent run on this relative strength. But if we're looking at relative weakness, yeah, I think Microsoft, like you mentioned, could be interesting here as well. The only one that's not really showing us that bid on the day today. This is a 30-minute chart. I'll go down to a 3-minute. That's what I like to look at. You can see here, flush off the open, can't really get back towards its highs, and then pushing back higher as well as of right now. So, you know what? I like that flush. There's a little pop and drop on the Micron. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of an ad there on top of 375s. We'll wait and see if that comes in. And I'm getting a call from a potential fraud. Okay, interesting. I like that. I like that my phone. Like, I don't know, it was an update like last year or something. It tells you if a fraudulent number is calling you. So
yeah, they put
always good.
Yeah. I told you about my one friend who gave up his social insurance, insurance number twice.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, one of them was to. I believe.
Isn't that something you never do? Like, no one's ever going to ask you for that over the phone.
Yeah, Ricky Williams got him one time. I think it was.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm serious, Katina, man. You remember me? Yeah, I don't know, not once but twice, man.
That's ridiculous.
Listen, if they're going to get you once, they're probably going to get you again, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, then he later went out and found out that these guys in Quebec City, the outlaw province, is that okay? Can we call Quebec the outlaw province? Or
I have no idea.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So
is that where the outlaws live?
Toronto. Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, that's where a lot of the old mobsters lived, right? In Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah. Hangry wife trading, yeah. No, I'm not at all. Jay Lee, stop this. Anyways, I'm gonna look for the re-engagement here on the NASDAQ, to be honest with you guys. Using these previous highs, 89, risk a couple of pennies here for that curl over. If I can get as high as I possibly can to that previous pivot, then it's either gonna work in my favor relatively quick, or it's gonna work in my favor, or I'm out of the trade relatively quick. Oh, we're back. So I'm prepared to re-engage on this trade. Give it a little bit of time, and then we'll get that additional leg lower, hopefully. And I'll just go back to that full size that I was in the initial position. So a slight overbuy right here, and then we got out there. So we're still fortunate enough to be profitable on that trade. So not too bad of a look. It is Wednesday, guys. Put it in the chat. What is everybody doing? Ryan O'Day. Who do we got fighting this weekend? It's Money Mike Hano, I believe, is on the fight cards this week. So we'll keep an eye out on what Money Mike Hano's doing. I don't know who he's fighting, though, to be honest with you. Katina, man, you wouldn't have liked last week's fights, man. They were violent and some really good ones. Yeah, really some good battles. All right, guys, we're re-engaged. We're only giving this one about 10 cents or so on the TQQQs. Let's see if we break it. If it breaks through that previous pivot, then so be it. Silver putting in a new high, Tesla slight recovery. We have Microsoft looking like it wants to continue its slide south of the volume-weighted average price. So a nice pullback. We wait for that. Bang! Just like that, my boy, Katina, man. A nice little move there. We'll hit the sirens on this one. If we can breach the low of the day, then we're going to be sitting in a pretty good position. But with that being said, we need all of the larger participants to kind of participate. Makes sense, right? NVDA right back to VWAP almost. Apple slowly starting to break down. Let's go. Google still hovering around those highs. Almost put in a new high of the day. The strongest of the Meg. Just like that. Let's go. Continue the slide here. If we can break this, then we're going to be sitting in a pretty good position. What we don't want is it to establish a higher low, and then we might be in a little bit of trouble and a rebound, and we have to be prepared to take a little bit out. So yeah, patience is the exact same thing on the US O trade. So think about it. You have that clean flush. OB waits for the long in the US. I wait for the consolidation, and then the signals that we're going to turn back over. All right, it's literally the exact same thing, identical patterns, and that's just what we were trying to take advantage of. Fortunate enough to do so, bang, we'll take some off at that low. Only 20% right there. Maybe I should piece out a little bit more, but we want to allow this to ride, especially because we are now south of that specific zone. And there it goes, OB. We can take 20% more off right there as we print a new low. Bang. Oh, we got the same fill on that one, but that's okay. Now sitting on approximately 60%. I'm going to piece it out a little bit slower now and just wait for some good some good opportunities and some lower prices to get involved. So yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have been holding on to that, but I reloaded full position. Oh, Katina Man's getting up. I was gonna ask him to hit the reload on that one. That's all right though. We'll just hit that on the TQQQs. Rocking and rolling. Let's see. You're still short Micron. Did it break down?
I added to the position here.
It broke down. It broke that level.
It's starting to break down. It's starting to pull back a little bit. Again, market tailwind definitely a little bit of a help there at the same time. So yeah, I saw the swipe up and then it swiped right back down. I'm like, all right, that's what I want to see. I was willing to get stopped out on this initial push, but I did want to get involved in and around this area, right? So I got stopped out once, and this is what I was talking about earlier. It doesn't always have to, you don't always have to, especially with reversions, it's likely that it's maybe not going to work every single time on the first try. But, we do our best to get involved in the right kind of areas there. So, a bit of a hold here, double bottom, if you want to call it that, of, what is this, 370, 330. So I'm watching this. If we can step down here, VWAP sitting all the way at, let's get specific. Let's see, let's get our labels there as well. Civil label, give me my VWAP label, bro. symbol label name, bid-ask labels, indicators, and financial value labels. There we go. Okay, cool. 364.15 is where VWAP is right here. We'll see if we can get all the way back down to VWAP. Again, market took a little bit of a pullback there. So yeah, I'm looking for a continuation to happen. But again, buyers have been so aggressively strong on the day today that yeah, this could just hold some of these prior levels. Like we held this 373.5 a couple of times already, and we pull right back into this, what I'm going to consider as an intraday support level. So unless and until we kind of pull back in, break it, and then push higher, and then hold it as resistance, then maybe that's warranting another add on that one. Because as you guys know, I'm trying to work on my pyramiding skills, and pyramiding only really works when things are going in your direction. Right?
What is that?
So,
what is that? Elaborate a little bit more. Refresh some of our...
On pyramiding?
Yeah.
So what was the one stock I was like, this is a great example of pyramiding today? So I think it was Meta. Meta, yeah, exactly. So if I were just to simply be like, okay, I'm getting along on Meta today, maybe on the VWAP reclaim, look at how clean every time this, you know, the stair step makes this pretty clean, I would say. Right here, the highs, sure, it doesn't pull back, but you know, like once we finally get going on the bid, pulls back into some prior levels here. So this would be this area. So pulls back, holds, breaks out, pulls back, holds, breaks out, pulls back, holds. So it's kind of stair stepping, and every time in that stair step,
like today's session.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, you know, you can get involved on the dips. Every time it dips into prior resistance turned into support, and then you can trail your stop as well on that move. But yeah, look, Meta's taking a decent pullback here as well. I want to get rid of all of these because these intraday levels.
That MU is working pretty good for you. 373.
Yeah, it's coming in, but it's got to do a lot more, right? MU. It's got to do a lot more.
But is the question?
Yeah, exactly. So I pointed out this level right here, where, in my opinion, I think it holds a little bit of significance, and if it's going to continue to hold, then we'll likely to see it hold this level and bounce back up. But this piece of action I like a little bit more, and I already wanted to get involved in and around this area for a potential reversion. So yeah, doing well to kind of stick with it. More than willing for it to come back in and stop me out as well, right? But we've been bidding up, Joe, for pretty much all day. So I have been looking for relief. Is it news driven? I don't know. But you know, the news, as Ramin posted earlier, was that the Iranian president is to issue a letter to Americans within the hour.
Bang.
Within the hour. So that could be a change in sentiment that we have. So I don't know. We'll wait and see.
So yeah, so an identical trade to yesterday, guys. We were talking about, we have that volatility step in. Boom, market flushes. OB goes long here. We go short at this consolidation, risking only up there. And then it's just like, boom, we reload, go full size. So whatever I had up here, I just went full size back in on this potential move. And it's always a good time when things work relatively quick for you. But look at the volume really start to uptick here, guys, on the lower time frame, on the 1 minute. That's going to be the largest volume we've seen since 1 o'clock. Okay, so almost an hour print. I'd take a little bit more off right there. So yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. I'm going to hold on to this position. I believe I'm sitting on 40%, which isn't anything substantial, or 50%. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that for a potential breakdown. But also, this is what I'm thinking too. So this is probably going to happen after I'm off. We only have 10 minutes left here. But this is what I'm thinking, considering we're so strong here today. Let's pull this up. And this is just me game planning. So essentially what I think may happen, because it takes some time for things to turn around, is that we come back higher, fail to establish a new high, and if we form any form of a base, if a consolidation zone starts to be formed, then that's going to be my green light to go on that lower high on the higher time frames. Right? So that'll be another opportunity for me. And if I can get in at a precise entry, then I can really hammer some shares and just have like a 5 or 10 cent, like max 10 cent risk. And that's kind of what I'm aiming to do right now. There might be something with the overall market right now, guys, considering the volume is drastically increased here. IBIT still selling. We have NVDA heading towards a consolidation low. Micron, heading into that 172 level there, Obi. So you got $3 just like that. Do you have a specific target in mind with that Micron? I mean, it broke through that support level. What's the game plan moving forward?
Like I said before, I just want to see if it holds now that support as resistance. The market is taking a bit of a pullback here, so looking for that continuation. If it continues and it holds, I do like it. You can see decent volume through that breakdown as well, a nice little flush. Look at the range of that candle itself is about 0.2, almost 0.3%. So I like that flush continuation. Let's see if we can come back down into some prior levels here. 367s I have, but again, you could hold here, it could hold here, it could hold here. I have no idea, right? So we'll wait and see. Market tailwind also dependent, I think, very much so on this one. I don't know what the beta on Micron is, but I think it's a pretty decent beta name there. Beta 1.61, so pretty decent there. Yeah, no, great TQ short, man. You were there before we even started to sell off, and you re-engaged as well. So good job getting involved in that one there. But yeah, for Micron, I think I'm looking for, if the market continues to sell off and we get a little bit of a reversion. When it comes to reversions, I like to look for a 50% reversion. Maybe 33s as well, but 50% more along the lines of what I'm looking for. And that would be around 24.2s here on the NASDAQ. So don't know if we're going to get all the way down there, but that was some action in the morning. That's where we had some of the action in the pre-market session as well today. So if we get that 50% retracement, then yeah, I think the likelihood of us getting back down into VWAP here at 364.20s on Micron could be pretty decent there. But we'll wait and see if it actually comes in. I like that it's holding this support as resistance for now, right? And with the news that the Iranian president potentially coming out with some sort of a note or a letter to Americans within the hour, I think we should be waiting for that as well. I think anything could really happen right now. So yeah, no idea what that is, but
have you seen some of those bunker bombs go off, the bunker busters or whatever they are? Have you seen those things?
From right now, like as of recent?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
You don't want to, especially in person. Yeah, we just wish this conflict would come to an end. Comes to an end, I think the market can go on a little bit of a run there. We continuously piecing out here on the TQQQs. Nice little move to the downside. That 43.92 would have been the ideal entry, but regardless, we take some off. We reload on that one. Helps us be a little bit more aggressive, and then we get that move. Yeah, especially in person, man. You don't want to see that stuff. Nice bounce on Tesla. Okay, we like that. That's not too bad. But I think the downtrend is now in play, right? Like we have to take this into consideration. Just the fact that it's like, hey, all right, we have these consecutive lows, lower highs, continuously moving. The nuclear bunker buster, no loon. It's essentially what it is. Yeah, but see, that's the person in the chat's name. It's fun. It's all fun and games until. You're actually there doing things. It's, you guys are American. You guys know what it's like handling firearms, and you and the boys are out at the range. Trust me, I know. It's that when lead starts flying around, things get very, very real, and they can get real quick, and that's it can go extremely south. I know Mike Peter Ryder probably be at the range, and a lot of other people that used to go up to the range quite often. Up north here and just throw targets. Have you ever heard of tannerite?
No.
Tannerite. So it's like, it's hard for me, the person in the chat naming it. There. Yeah, that's their name. Tannerite. Yeah, so you can go to Bass Pro Shop here and just buy tannerite, And yeah, you just fill up, yeah, exactly. You just fill it up and then you shoot it and it goes bang, essentially. And it's like, it's a legal explosive here, which is cool. So yeah, elevators, what, Tanner, right? Yeah, you go to Bass Pro Shop and buy it, fill up a water bottle with it and then just blink. What we used to do is that watermelons get a little bit expensive, but you go to No Frills and buy the 99-cent 2-liter bottles of soda, as the Americans go pop and then just shoot them and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you shooting them with? Like BB guns or like?
No, firearms.
Oh, like actual firearms.
Yeah, real. You know, you were in the reserves. Actual. Whatever. We had everything except no 50 cal. We got the 223s, 5.56, 7.62s. 9mm, we have fun. We got the plinkers as well. Shoot just the plink, buy a couple thousand 22s, and you're just ping, 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 just having a little bit of fun. Yeah, I am truly a kid at heart. I have no issue with admitting that. I want to stay young, even though that's not the reality. Time waits for no one, unfortunately. But what isn't waiting for us right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the TQs as it's really starting to slide. Hey, Micron on fire as well too for you there, Obi. There it is, Katina man. You heard it here first, my boy. Let's get this short going. 43.83s all the way down to 43.66. There in the TQQQs. Now you are on some TS. Yeah, I know. I gotta be careful. I don't know if we have that. Keep doing your thing, Joe. Thanks, Slim. That's how we rock and roll, man. We like to have fun. Potato guns are fun as well too. I never used one. My friend used to have one, but I never fired any tots out of it or anything like that.
So there is some news right now. So the Israeli Broadcasting Authority basically saying that negotiations between the U.S. and Iran are not progressing positively.
Yeah. So there it goes. That would justify a little bit of the slide here in the overall market, Obi. We take
price
a little bit more off.
News.
Yeah.
Price precedes news.
Yeah, so it doesn't even, like, listen, it's continuously selling. We're going to hold on to a little bit. How much do I have here now at this point? Not too bad. We'll take it. 23% of my remaining position as the TQQQs continue to slide. You have Micron that's continuing to slide as well, too. So it hasn't been a bad one. Still slightly red, full disclosure. But if we continuously hold on this and we wait throughout the day, there's going to be some high-quality opportunities. Talks between the Iranian government and the U.S. government not going as planned. And we suspected this. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's going to be that tennis match that we talked about, Obi, for quite some time until they come to a conclusion. Or at some point, Donald Trump just leaves and says, yeah, I don't really care about negotiating. We're done. We did what we had to do. And if I have to return, I will, regardless of how the negotiations essentially go.
Yeah, I think as of right now, I'm just going to try to look around for the right kind of price action to get involved with. Google as well coming in quite nicely, but I had to get involved. What is this at? 299s, it's at 299.60s, 298.97s is where we're at on Google. Okay, cool. You know what? I'll take a little bit of this right here. It is relatively strong, which kind of is sometimes pretty deterring for most, but I'll wait and see. What is that power bar low at 299.58? Eesh. Okay. Just risk accordingly. We'll do this, we'll do that, and we'll do this. Okay, cool, boom. Got my stop in, got the position in. Let's see if we get a bit of continuation here. Micron's coming in as well. Why is Google not showing? There's Google. So Google, yeah, a little bit late to the party here. 2.9.5s, I should be getting in right here. But if we're going to continue a little bit, yeah, it's starting to break down right now. It's breaking trend as well. I mean, the whole market's breaking trend as of right now on that news. Yeah, we'll wait and see. More continuation. And people are asking, where is that news coming from? It's the Israeli Broadcasting Authority that just said that negotiations between the U.S. and Iran are not progressing positively, and the market's catching a bit of a sell on said news there. So increase in volume, break of trend as well. And again, we were observing a break of trend a little bit earlier as well, and now follow through coming in on the news as well. Yeah, Ramin's saying that Trump was saying some things a little bit earlier there, but
regarding Ukraine.
Yeah, so
if Ukraine doesn't
halt
help
weapon supplies to Ukraine unless Europe joins the Hormuz coalition.
So there you go. That wouldn't be good for Ukraine. I feel like they're strapped already, so I don't know how much you really want these guys to do at this point, but they got to get it figured out. You have all the Gulf countries that can essentially fortify the Strait of Hormuz. You have other countries as well, too. Joy Short could be good. Now, Bailey Buttons, we've been short, my friend, from, it's that time. It's 14:01. We can continue to ramble on.
Boy.
There's a lot of news going on.
Yeah.
We had the short on the TQQQs. We re-engaged. It's continuing to slide. We give